too unselfish there. He needed to be a bit greedier. He wanted to pull it back, and he might have had a pop at goal himself. 0-0. Henderson in possession, just inside the Liverpool half. Rolls it low for Thiago. I think it's fair to say that the jury is still out amongst Liverpool fans on how to get the best out of Thiago.
They like him though, Connor. They do like him.
Well, there's much to like, isn't there? Yeah.
Well, he's a terrific player. I think getting his foot, he hadn't won when he's been in the team. They hadn't won apart from the other night against Tottenham. I think playing him further forward has been a masterstroke against Tottenham anyway. That's for sure.
Yeah. Suggestion has been about his pace. Here's Origi into the penalty area for Liverpool left-hand side. He tries it from a tight angle and blazes it well wide of the target. Divock Origi, who's not scored in the Premier League this season. He got one goal against Lincoln in the League Cup in September, and that just setting his sights there, warming up towards the target, put it well wide.
You're being nice, warming up towards the goal.
first chance I'm giving him.
I thought he was going to drill it across the goal. It's a difficult angle, but you're right, he's unlucky and it just goes wide of the post, but maybe he should have been going across Fabianski there.
Divock Origi has been at Liverpool a long time, scored home and away against West Ham 4 seasons ago. Has never really, though, been first choice in the team. And this is an opportunity for him to try and impress today. Been given the starting berth with Mane out with a muscle injury. And if you missed the team news earlier on, Roberto Firmino's on the bench. And the official reason for Liverpool is rotation. Here is Thiago down the right-hand side for Liverpool. Rolls the ball in front of Salah, who'll gamely chase after it, but beaten to it inside the penalty area by Cresswell. He helps it back to Fabianski. And Fabianski clears away. Lucas Fabianski, who's only ever had one clean sheet in a game against Liverpool in his career, and he's played them a lot. Today's the 17th time he's come up against Liverpool, just one clean sheet back in his Swansea days. The first time he ever played against Liverpool, Lucas Fabianski, was a memorable match. It was the famous 4-4 draw, Arsenal against Liverpool in 2009. That was the game that Andre Arshavin scored all the 4 goals for Arsenal. That was only Fabianski's 5th ever Premier League appearance. First time he came up against Liverpool, and here he is up against them today now with West Ham. Liverpool in possession. Right-hand side of the midfield. Wijnaldum gives it into the centre circle. Henderson onto Robertson. And now they come on the left-hand side with Divock Origi. Interesting to see how Liverpool's front 3 line up. Shaqiri's almost been given a little free roll. What's that, Russell Clinton? That's not you, is it? Someone's eating sweets? No, it's not you. Okay, right. Someone near one of our microphone. I always like to check these things.
I'm so professional.
No one's having little snacks that I don't know about. Sofal clears the ball away. This is Souček. He's a Czech international teammate. And between the two of them, they clear away. What brilliant working of double signings that those have been. Vladimir Sofal and Thomas Souček for West Ham. And West Ham have obviously got a very good scout in the Czech Republic, because those two have been amongst the signings of the season.
They've been outstanding. Souček has been excellent in that midfield. Scores a lot of goals. A lot of people comparing him to Fellaini, but I think he offers a bit more than that, but he does score a lot of goals from midfield.
Robertson with a crossfield ball. What a delivery that is. Wow. And controlled by Alexander-Arnold to the right-hand side. Tries to play in a low cross. West Ham deal with it. Benrahma has a touch on the edge of the penalty area, but Wijnaldum's going to get it back, and he shoots, and it's too high, and it's another tester, and he didn't get hold of it properly. But, I mean, look, we've all eulogised a million times about how Robertson and Alexander-Arnold link up with each other. That was one of the best examples I've ever. What a pass and what a first touch from the right back.
Yeah, they were doing that all last season. Not as much this season because they haven't got forward, because of obviously they've not had Van Dijk and obviously Gomez in the team, and they let any two fullbacks go forward. But it's a great pass from Robertson, and the touch from Trent Alexander-Arnold was first class. Trent Alexander-Arnold now looks like, Connor, he's getting back to his best. I thought against Tottenham in midweek he was fantastic.
Yeah, I saw a stat, he provided so many crosses in that game. And the game against Burnley before it. Alexander-Arnold beginning to produce that quality delivering. Again, we'll see today if Origi can get on the end of one of them. Here comes Mikel Antonio for the first time on the charge for West Ham. Down the left-hand side, gets to the byline, swings in across, which Henderson does well to win a header against Souček on the edge of the 6-yard box. Souček, who's been devastating in the air in an attacking sense for West Ham this season, but Henderson slotting in defence today again, proving to be a very admirable centre-half as he beats Souček in the air, and Liverpool are able to clear away. And I don't know what you're saying about Mikel Antonio's crossing Clinton in the past, because that was a wonderful cross on the left-hand side. You're talking nonsense, man.
I said it was good. I said his crossing was good. He made 1 or 2 mistakes, but everyone makes mistakes, don't they? But good play from Mikel Antonio on the left-hand side. Good balling and good defending from Henderson, because Souček is really good in the air, but Henderson is a brave header.
West Ham 0, Liverpool 0. Great to have Clinton Morrison alongside us here at a deserted, behind closed doors London Stadium. Funny atmosphere at the best of times here, even when we've got a full crowd in, but even more so with no spectators as West Ham launch a long ball down the left-hand side and the ball goes out for a goal kick to Liverpool. So David Moyes up against very familiar foes today. He's had many battles with Liverpool. Everton boss, of course, for years and years, and the big rivalry with Manchester United too in the past. It is over a decade since David Moyes last engineered a league win over Liverpool. Tim Cahill and Mikel Arteta scored for Everton, 2-0 win at Goodison Park 10 years ago. Arguably, though, and I think you could say this, that he's not, in those 10 years since, including his time at Manchester United, he's probably not been in a better position to get a win against Liverpool than he is today. You know, the way his team are playing and the way Liverpool have been off the boil.
Yeah, definitely, full of confidence. And with all the injuries, and we already know Liverpool have a lot of injuries, this is probably, you look at it for West Ham and say, probably this is the perfect opportunity that we can get to beat this Liverpool team. But Liverpool is still class act.
Busy day on 5 Live Sport. We've already brought you Chelsea's win against Burnley and Leeds' win at Leicester. And Leicester dropping points today is good news for both of these teams, who are immediately behind Brendan Rodgers' side in the table. Leicester started the day in 3rd, Liverpool in 4th, 2 points behind them, and West Ham in 5th place, 2 points further back again. But a Liverpool win today would move them ahead of Leicester for now and up into 3rd place in the Premier League. And this is our 3rd commentary of the day. There's more to come at 7:15. Alistair Bruce Ball will be alongside Glenn Murray for Brighton against Tottenham. That's a 7:15 start here on 5 Live. 0-0 at London Stadium. 10 minutes played. Alisson, who, as he likes to do, plays the ball out comfortably with his feet. Liverpool working their way out of their own penalty area. Robertson's ball up to the halfway line, miscontrolled off the shin pad of Origi, but then he hustles and battles and tries to win the ball from Dawson. Good sliding challenge from Dawson, and Origi is slow to get back to his feet, but play on, says the referee. Declan Rice, who drops deep. There's been so much suggestion that Declan Rice could be leaving West Ham and going to Chelsea, and I think deep down a lot of West Ham fans were happy that their former player Frank Lampard was removed from the job at Chelsea, because they saw that as being a connection, and maybe Thomas Tuchel would be less likely to bring him in. Yeah,
I can't see that one happening, but I could definitely see it if Frank had stayed in charge, because I think he rates Declan Rice so highly. I think with Tuchel, he might still rate him highly, but I don't think they'll be going for him now in the summer. So West Ham fans will be happy.
He's turned 22 this month. Declan Rice, still such a young player, but captain now for West Ham.
Oh, Mike Connor. You've just missed an outrageous piece of skill there from Ben Rama. Nothing came of it, but it was absolutely brilliant. It's what fans, sometimes you pay your money for. He just flicked it over Robertson, got it the other side, but then gave a sloppy pass. So does it still count?
In this internet meme world, it definitely counts.
Okay.
No one cares what happens after the fancy flick.
I guarantee they'll be talking about that flick.
No one's got the attention span anymore. Give me a 3-second meme. That's all we got.
Okay.
The guys earlier on were saying a candidate for Too Good Too Bad a match of the day later on tonight. Maybe that Benrahma flick will feature in the Too Good. 12 minutes played. West Ham 0, Liverpool 0. Here is Nathaniel Phillips, who made his league debut against West Ham in the reverse fixture back in October. Phillips, who's 23 years of age. This is his 5th appearance in the Premier League. And, they've had a few defenders. Reece Williams is another one who's been given his opportunity. Nathaniel Phillips has done well when he's been given a chance, and he's alongside Henderson. And, extra difficult for him that he's not alongside a specialist in that tricky position. Here is Milner, up to the edge of the West Ham penalty area, where Origi holds it up and feeds Robertson on the left-hand side. Great return from Robertson. Origi in the penalty area, and the slide challenge comes in, and that's going to go out for another corner. Corner to Liverpool on the left-hand side, still scoreless in this 4:30 kickoff on 5 Live.
It's good play from Liverpool. Started with Salah on the right hand side, then the ball eventually comes to Origi. He does well. He passes it to Robertson and doesn't stand still. And this time he does look to square it. Good defending from Jared Bowen.
Right, good game so far. Both teams going at it. Corner to Liverpool on the left-hand side. Robertson to take, doesn't get enough elevation on it, so Foul is able to head it away. Good distance on the header too, and it goes out for a throw into Liverpool, level with the edge of the West Ham penalty area. Left-hand side as Liverpool come forward dressed all in black. Robertson takes his time over the throw. Andy Robertson, whose first ever Premier League goal he ever scored was against West Ham. That was back when he was a Hull City player 4 years ago now. As Liverpool hold on to possession and have it bang on the halfway line with Nathaniel Phillips. He launches it out to the left-hand side. Robertson, first-time delivery back into the penalty area. Dawson is well positioned and clears it away, but straight back out to Robertson, who's got Shaqiri with him. Great ball from Shaqiri into the penalty area, picking out a run by Milner. No room for Milner to shoot, though. He wriggles and jiggles and gives it back out to Robertson on the left-hand side. Shaqiri gets involved again. He's another one who needs a good performance. Xherdan Shaqiri given this chance to the team today, and he'll give it back to Henderson, who under pressure rolls it all the way back to Alisson. West Ham will be pleased with how they dealt with that particular Liverpool attack. No one lunged in, they just held their ground, they denied Liverpool space, and they forced Jurgen Klopp's team back.
No, they did. It was a good ball from Shaqiri, and you thought Milner was going to turn and have a shot, but West Ham got back in their numbers and forced Liverpool back. And that's one thing you've noticed with this West Ham team. When they're out of possession, they work ever so hard as well. They let Liverpool come to a certain area, and then they go and press and squeeze as a team, and that's what they're doing so far.
Ronaldo has possession for Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold on his right-hand side, 10 yards inside the West Ham half. No goals here yet. Quarter of an hour on the clock at London Stadium. And here is Salah on the right-hand side of the Liverpool attack. Thiago's made a burst forward. Good ball in from the right-hand side, looking for Origi. Strong header. I think it was Dawson who got it just in front of Origi inside the penalty area, but excellent from Thiago to create the chance. Here's another cross. Alexander-Arnold looking for Origi. This time it definitely was Dawson who headed away, and then Declan Rice has committed a foul on Thiago just outside the penalty area, and it's going to be an attacking free kick to Liverpool, which is taken quickly by Alexander-Arnold, too quickly, and referee John Moss says he wasn't ready, and that will be take two, and just as well for Liverpool because Origi's free kick didn't produce anything of danger. That was more like it from Thiago, by the way, a moment ago.
No, it was. That's what you want to see, Thiago. I've always said break him forward. He can create stuff. It's a good ball into the box, but it was good defending before Origi was just about to get his head onto it.
She missed the team news earlier on. Sadio Mane for Liverpool today. He's got a muscle injury. He's only missed one Premier League game this season, and it was significant. The one he missed was the crazy 7-2 defeat to Aston Villa, so Liverpool fans will hope that isn't an omen. But no doubt Liverpool have a better record when Mane's in the team. Here comes the free kick, played in by Alexander-Arnold, sits up for Thiago, hits it low into a forest of legs. West Ham had everyone back defending inside the penalty area, and then Thiago lunges to try and get the second ball and commits a foul. And that is a free kick to West Ham, and they've absorbed a bit of pressure there, still 0-0. Clinton Morris.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with that because Thiago's technique is ridiculously good. He strikes it clean with his left foot. So credit to him, Antonio done well. He stands strong and gets a good defensive block on the shot, but usually with his Billy on the edge of the box, he usually hits the top corner in them kind of positions when he was at Bayern Munich.
Last time these sides met at Anfield in October, West Ham did take the lead. Pablo Fornal scored it. Liverpool, though, came back to win. Salah got a penalty, and there was an 85th minute winner from Diogo Jota. Now Liverpool are missing him at the moment. Origi tries to find Salah on the edge of the penalty area, but Cresswell does very well and wins the ball back comfortably for West Ham. Dawson touches it to Fabianski. And Fabianski to Sofal on the right-hand side as West Ham try to play their way out of defence, but it's given away. Liverpool get it back. Thiago, 10 yards inside the West Ham half. He's got Wijnaldum alongside him. Georginio Wijnaldum, who scored against West Ham last season in the Premier League. Robertson gives it on to Origi here just outside the West Ham penalty area. He's got Milner on the left into the penalty area. Robertson had made a good dart forward, good covering by Craig Dawson, and Sofal will complete the clearance on the right hand side. Liverpool comes straight back at their host. Milner tries to turn Souček, and Souček challenges Milner and puts the ball out for a Liverpool throw on the left hand side. If West Ham win today, it would be their 11th victory of the season overall. That would be more wins than they had in all of last season. And we are still in January. That has been the level of improvement from David Moyes this time round. Nathaniel Phillips for Liverpool launches the ball too high for Thiago, won by Agbona in the air, but all he can do is cushion a header down from Mo Salah, who'll now attack the penalty area with pace. Cresswell gets it off him and clears away. Chance of a counter-attack here for West Ham as Benrahma plays a ball forward, which was a good idea. However, Antonio had just checked his run. Had Antonio canted after that, he could have been in. Good organised defending from Liverpool, and Alisson picks it up under no pressure at all away to our right-hand side. Clinton.
Yeah, and that's the opportunities they need. West Ham have not had much possession. It's going to be difficult, but when they do get the ball, David Moyes was just saying to Benrahma, don't force it, just get a few passes in, because we don't want to be chasing the ball all night. But it was a good ball, but Antonio made his run too early.
10 years ago today, by the way, was the day that Liverpool broke their transfer record twice in the same day. They bought Luis Suarez from Ajax, and then they signed Andy Carroll from Newcastle. That was 10 years ago today. Tomorrow, transfer deadline day, and Mark Chapman will be presenting a Monday Night Club special as they take in all of that. I have a feeling it's not going to be quite as dramatic as that day 10 years ago. That was when Torres went to Chelsea all on the same day as well.
I'll tell you now, it's going to be nowhere near as good as that. I'll tell you that 100%.
It's going to be a jumble sale. Oh, dearie me. Right, here is Agbona heading the ball away for West Ham. And the clearance is completed by Fornals, comes down inside the centre circle. Milner miscontrols, rare for him. Benrahma takes it off inside. Benrahma, who's now made his move from Brentford permanent this week. He had been on loan this season up until then. West Ham, of course, you've brought in Jesse Lingard, a player David Moyes knows from the past. Not involved today, but I'll be hoping Lingard can strengthen West Ham's options. And if he can get Lingard playing at his best, and I appreciate that is an if, but that could be quite the signing for West Ham.
Oh, definitely. I think Lingard would be brilliant. He'll obviously play. He can play in numerous positions anywhere across that front four. So I think it'll be an excellent sign. And I think it's a great move. I think Jesse Lingard is in a stage in his career, Connor, where he needs to go and play regular minutes somewhere. And at a club like West Ham, where he knows the manager, I wish him well, and I think West Ham will get the best out of him.
Yeah, hasn't played at all in the Premier League this season for Manchester United, Jesse Lingard. I remember on FA Cup third round weekend, I was at Old Trafford, and he did start against Watford, but he has been left on the fringes at Manchester United, and Jesse Lingard gets a chance of a new fresh start now, having joined West Ham on loan. 0-0 here on 5 Live, 20 minutes played now. No clear-cut opportunities to score yet in the game. As Wijnaldum feeds it out to the right-hand side, received by Thiago. Shaqiri spins around 180 degrees under pressure from Declan Rice and finds Milner in a bit more space. Liverpool work it to the left-hand side to Robertson. Klopp is out on the edge of the technical area and bellowing the instructions in his warm winter coat down there. Challenged by Sofal, puts the ball out for a Liverpool throw. Robertson takes that throw and back to his captain, Jordan Henderson, who today is making his 286th appearance for Liverpool, which takes him 4th place now in the club's appearances list in the Premier League era. He overtakes Pepe Reina now. There's only 3 players who've played more for Liverpool in the Premier League era now. Jamie Carragher is one, Steven Gerrard is another, and Sami Hyypiä is the third. But Henderson, who is very much legendary status now as league title, Champions League winning captain at the club. Here comes Salah trying to get into the penalty area for Liverpool. Held up though by Creswell. He keeps it alive, back to Shaqiri, and now Alexander-Arnold on the right hand side, up against the sideline, but level with the edge of the penalty area. Makes a burst for the byline, gives himself a yard, decent delivery into the middle, but Agbona is able to head the ball away for West Ham. And now Declan Rice picks it up. Nice pass in front of Benrahma on the left wing. Antonio wants to make a charge through the middle, but the pass from Benrahma is too far ahead of him. Thumbs up anyway from Antonio. He liked that. He wants to see more of that. But on this particular occasion, it runs through to Alisson. 0-0. What have you made of the game so far, Clinton? We're a quarter way through it now.
Yeah, Liverpool are dominating, but you can see West Ham are slowly but surely growing into. I think Benrahma's key for them, because if he gets into them little pockets, him and Antonio can link, because Antonio's got good movement, and I think in a race he can beat the 2 Liverpool centre-backs.
Clinton Morrison, who scored several goals against Liverpool in his career. A memorable one in the League Cup semi-final. As Salah tries a header, the ball was played in by Shaqiri, didn't see much danger, it was a long way out, and Salah puts the header wide. Mo Salah, who is by his standards on very much a drought of Premier League goals. He's been able to score in cup competitions lately. He is still Liverpool's top scorer this season. He's not scored in the Premier League yet though in 2021. Last time he scored in the Premier League was the 7-0 win against Crystal Palace. That was December 19th.
Yeah, he had one the other night, chalked off, didn't he, for the Firmino handball. But he's getting in there again. He's getting in there. Obviously scored a couple against Man United. So he's slowly but surely getting back to his best. He looks sharp anyway so far this evening.
Has looked sharp whenever he's played against West Ham in the past. 7 games against West Ham for Mo Salah. He has scored 7 goals against them in the past. Clinton mentioning that disallowed goal on Thursday. The VAR that night was John Moss. He is referee for this game here at London Stadium as Rice wins possession ahead of Shaqiri. just inside the West Ham half, and he plays it out to Fornals on the left wing. He's got an overlapping run from Cresswell. Now this is dangerous. Cresswell pulls it back. Benrahma, why did he try to control it? Follow-up shot is headed away off the line by Robertson, but Benrahma surely has to take that on first time. The goal was at his mercy. He didn't fancy hitting it. Here's Declan Rice. He wants to hit it, drills it in, and it strikes the body of Nathaniel Phillips, and Liverpool clear it away. And that's as threatening as West Ham have been in the game so far. They come again. Sofal down the right-hand side, well shepherded off the field of play. Strong defending by Andy Robertson, who falls onto the running track part of London Stadium, just off the main playing surface. Well, that was a chance. What an opportunity for Benrahma, Clinton.
It's a big chance. Fornell does well and Cresswell cuts it back, but you know the problem is, I think Antonio is in his way. Watching the replay, Benrahma can't get the shot away because Antonio stood like a yard away from him, and that's why he tries to jump out the way. I think if not, Benrahma opens that up with his body and then passes that into the back of the net. So bit of confusion between them two, but good play from West Ham.
Yes, well spotted. He felt, Benrahma, that if he took the shot on himself, he would hit his own teammate, so he's tried to take the touch, but of course Premier League inside the penalty area, you don't have time to be taking touches, and Liverpool were able to close him down. But there was a follow-up shot as well, which Robertson headed away. I think the keeper probably would have saved it behind him, but Robertson on the goal line headed it away anyway. Here come West Ham again. They're enjoying a good spell. Antonio down the left-hand side, edge of the penalty area that West Ham are attacking, but that was a curious ball. He tried to give it back to Souček, and he gave it straight to Shaqiri, and now Liverpool can counter. The game is stretching nicely now as we move through the gears here. This is Origi, edge of the penalty area for Liverpool, gives it back to Thiago. Now on the edge of the D is Shaqiri, and he wants to give it out to the left wing to James Milner. Liverpool have got plenty players up in attack here, but West Ham have got several back in defence as well, as Shaqiri wins the ball away from Bowen, and Liverpool have it on the halfway line with Henderson. West Ham United 0, Liverpool 0 on 5 Live Premier League Sunday. Robertson 10 yards outside the West Ham half gives it back into James Milner, who I think is unhappy about something. He's pointing in an exaggerated manner. I think he wanted Shaqiri to make a run for him there. Here is Nathaniel Phillips.
You're right, Con. Everything's in front of West Ham. It's easy. No one ain't stretching in behind apart from Salah, and everything's to feet. No, Milner just makes a run in there behind. That's what he wanted Shaqiri to do.
0-0. West Ham with defending to do. Souček just inside his own penalty area, very casually touched it down for Cresswell, and Cresswell clears away. Liverpool, though, win back possession immediately. Just for a few minutes there, West Ham had a very good patch. Liverpool appeared to have weathered that storm, and they're imposing themselves once again inside their opponent's half. Henderson plays it forward, direct, straight down the middle. Salah's onto it, controls with his shoulder, inside the penalty area, tries to swivel around, sets it up for Shaqiri, hits it, but blocked away well by Dawson. Craig Dawson has been a busy defender in these opening 26 minutes, and he deflects Shaqiri's shot away for a corner.
It's a great run from Salah. I said that if you run in behind, you make so much space. Great ball from Henderson. He does well, Salah, but good defending from Dawson, because Shaqiri has a good shot there. But brave defending, and Dawson's been doing that the whole time. Him and Ogbonna's partnership over the last month or so has been excellent, Connor.
So corner to Liverpool, right hand side as they come forward. West Ham bring everyone back into the penalty area to defend it. And it's headed away at the front post by Souček. Thiago puts it back into the mix. Dawson's header goes straight up into the air. Origi's been able to control it and get it down on the deck, but his back was to goal. He's got on the edge of the D here, Thiago, and Liverpool are going to have to retreat here to hold on to possession. Back to Henderson, and it's going to break down for Liverpool here now, or it should do. Thiago's had a good touch there to try and regain possession, helped out by Van Alden. Midway inside the West Ham half, looks up and sees that Alexander-Arnold's in space on the right-hand side. West Ham are working very hard when they don't have the ball here, closing down the opportunities for Liverpool. No goals so far here on 5 Live. Milner tries to play it out to Alexander-Arnold on the right-hand side. Fornell slides in and puts the ball out for a Liverpool throw.
No, you're right. Liverpool are dominating possession, but it's been comfortable for West Ham. You can't say Liverpool have created any clear-cut chances. The Shaqiri shot there, which was a good block from Dawson. So West Ham will be happy. I think David Moyes will be just more disappointed when West Ham are in possession and not using the ball good enough.
This is the most points that West Ham have ever had after 20 games of a Premier League season. But today, the biggest test that they have had on this good run of results so far in 2021. So far, West Ham holding their own. This is Milner, attacking position down the right-hand side for Liverpool, but he can't get his cross in beyond Cresswell. And then when the ball does fall for Alexander-Arnold, the flag is raised on the far side. Dan Robothan is the assistant over there, and he spotted that Alexander-Arnold had strayed offside. So that will be a free kick to West Ham. I saw an interesting stat actually about Trent Alexander-Arnold. The game against Burnley, he provided 8 crosses from open play, and apparently that was a Premier League record. No one player had ever created 18 crosses in a match. But in the last 2 games against Southampton and Burnley, this is before the Tottenham game, he lost possession 38 times against Southampton, 39 times against Burnley. Those have been the most of any player to lose possession of Premier League games. So it's all well and good saying you're sending in lots of crosses. How do you analyse those stats? Is that a good thing or a bad thing to be sending in lots of crosses but not finding your target?
No, I just think when he has a lot of the balls, so he is putting balls into the box, but the balls when they were playing against Burnley were balls in that them strikers didn't want. They're probably for 6'2" strikers to go and attack, where the strikers want it whipped across the box.
Is that why Origi starts today then? Is that what he's thinking?
He could be thinking that. He could be thinking balls are going into the box. Origi starts, and I think Origi starts because Firmino needs a rest. I think if Firmino didn't need a rest, which Jurgen Klopp said, then I think he would. Origi would not have started with Shaqiri, Salah, and Firmino.
Yeah, Firmino is on the bench today, not injured, and as Clinton says, Jurgen Klopp says it's rotation. Liverpool, who've got 2 home games in a row after this, they host Brighton on Wednesday, and then it's Manchester City next Sunday. What a game that's going to be now, the form that Manchester City are in.
Firmino will be back, and Mane will definitely be back.
They're all being wrapped in cotton wool for that one, and after that it's Leicester away, so tricky run of games coming for Jurgen Klopp. Not that this one isn't tricky against a West Ham team who've been great to watch lately. Here is James Milner just inside the Liverpool half. Alexander-Arnold feeds a direct ball up to the feet of Mo Salah. Agbona is doing a bodyguard job on him and wins the ball unfairly in John Moss's view.
Connor, that ball from Trent Alexander-Arnold to a striker is superb because he wraps it in. You don't want it bobbled so you have to fight the defender. What he did there, Alexander-Arnold wraps it into Salah. He has a good touch, and then Agbona's trying to fight him to win it and gives away the free kick. That is what you want as a centre forward. I think it's a great ball from Trent Alexander-Arnold.
So Agbona is penalised there. I don't know if he's done an awful lot wrong, but the referee says he has. Liverpool take the free kick. Robertson has it on the left-hand side. Angelo Agbona, I remember commentating him, the old ball in ground. He scored a goal against Liverpool in an FA Cup tie not so long ago. Angelo Agbona. And it was a winner as well, a late winner. That was the last time that West Ham have beaten Liverpool in any competition. And he's got a job to keep tabs on Mo Salah today. But 0-0 it remains here between West Ham United and Liverpool. Reminder, they're coming up at 7:15. We've got Brighton against Tottenham. Full commentary here on 5 Live. And later on this evening, 6:06 with Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton. We'll have a 9 o'clock kickoff thereabouts. Earlier on today, Chelsea beat Burnley by 2-0. First win in charge of Chelsea for Thomas Tuchel. Azpilicueta and Alonso were the goal scorers there. And Leeds ended Leicester's 7-game unbeaten run. They had a 3-1 win at the King Power Stadium. Leicester did go 1-0 up in that game, but Leeds were able to turn it around. No goals here so far as Vladimir Sofala's possession for West Ham. Gives it into the midfield to Declan Rice, who's played every minute of every game this season. Bonner, he's got Rice just dropping in between the 2 central defenders at the moment. Playing it short to Dawson. High press from Liverpool. Shaqiri and Origi both run to put pressure on him, so he turns and rolls it back to Fabianski. West Ham come out of defence again as Agbona launches a long pass, which Nathaniel Phillips does well to win in the air for Liverpool. Thiago gets it down on the deck, halfway line, low ball to the feet of Mo Salah, midway inside the West Ham half now, gives it back to Thiago in the bright orange boots. Jordan Henderson pops forward from his central defensive position. Robertson, Liverpool have seen a lot of possession here, but it's all in the central third at the moment. Wijnaldum, that's not a good ball, cut out by Bowen. And West Ham very organised, win back possession, work it back to Fabianski, nothing fancy. And then Fabianski's long ball comes down inside the centre circle, and young Phillips does well again, the Liverpool central defender. There's a foul on Bowen by Shaqiri, free kick to West Ham near the centre circle. Clinton Morris.
Yeah, he's done well so far, Phillips. When the ball's gone up to Antonio in the air, yeah, he is bigger than Antonio, but Antonio usually wins his headers, and Phillips has done it all right, and he's been comfortable in possession. But West Ham haven't really troubled him at the moment, so when they start getting possession, that's when I want to see how he does. But so far, so good from Phillips.
0-0, 12 minutes to half-time. You've got to go back to 1995 for the last time there was a scoreless draw when West Ham hosted Liverpool in the league. So foul here, nods it on to Antonio, crossing position on the right-hand side, and it's blocked by Henderson for a corner. Corner to West Ham. Now this is a chance for the big men to come up.
I was just about to say, Connor, this is where West Ham have been really good this season through set pieces. They've got a lot of big players in this team, and that can cause problems. And if the delivery's right, which it usually is from Jared Bowen, then they've got a great opportunity.
Souček is a huge threat.
Yeah, Souček, Dawson as well.
He made his debut a year ago tomorrow, Thomas Souček. Since then, no Premier League player has scored more headed goals than Thomas Souček, which I think would surprise people. But that's how good he's been. Now they take the corner short. They don't play it in. Bowen will get it back here from Benrahma. Now the delivery, but it's in swinging. It's too close to Alisson. That's a waste from West Ham.
Yeah, why do the short one? Because what happens if you do the short one to Benrahma, he plays it back to Bowen. What Liverpool did and did ever so well is they just squeeze up the pitch, keep you offside, and Alisson comes out and does well and claims the ball. Just put the ball in, pull it in on the Liverpool defence and see if they can deal with it. So I think Moyes will be disappointed there.
Liverpool's win against Tottenham brought to an end a run of 5 Premier League games without a win for Jurgen Klopp. So that was an away league game. They haven't won back-to-back away games this season in the Premier League, Liverpool. Milner plays it forward here, looking for Origi on the edge of the West Ham penalty area. Cresswell again gets a touch which disrupts Origi and puts the ball out for a throw-in. And Origi is still waiting to get onto a decent delivery into him. I mean, there's been a lot of Liverpool activity in around the West Ham penalty area, but they've not been able to create a proper goal-scoring opportunity for Divock Origi so far here. 10 minutes to half-time. Attacking throw-in for Liverpool, taken by Trent Alexander-Arnold. Short to Milner, who tried to return it to Alexander-Arnold, but it breaks down. And West Ham tried to counter-attack, but the pass is too far in front of Antonio. And Jordan Henderson just cruises across and casually rolls the ball back to Alisson, who, if Alisson was to keep a clean sheet today, would be his 50th clean sheet for Liverpool in all competitions. We speak about signings coming in and instantly clicking and becoming part of the team and looking good in the Premier League, particularly foreign players, and Alisson has done that as well as anyone. As Thiago here controls the ball under pressure from Rice. I think he's been given the man-marking job a little bit on Thiago today. Whenever Thiago gets possession, Rice isn't far away. Here we go again. Thiago picks up the ball, rattling into his shins is Declan Rice, fouling him. Free kick to Liverpool, which Origi wanted to take quickly, but the ball was rolling.
You see what they do? They wrap the ball in Thiago. His touch is so good, Connor. His first touch, always on the move and always looking to pass forward. That's why I like him so much as a footballer, and I think in time it'd be a brilliant signing for Liverpool.
Yeah, he's got a lot of quality, does Thiago. Regular for the Spanish national team. He's won all the trophies with Bayern Munich. You don't play for those two clubs if you haven't got quality. Here is Robertson on the left-hand side for Liverpool. Midway into the West Ham territory. Short infield to the feet of Thiago. Drags it back under the studs. Lovely ball. Onto Shaqiri, who doesn't play as good a pass. He wanted to give in Alexander-Arnold, who was outside him on the right-hand side, but the angle wasn't right from Shaqiri, but real quality. Exactly what you were describing there, Clinton, from Thiago there as he played the ball to Shaqiri.
Yeah, it's a great ball. He just fizzes it in, and that's what you want, because you're touching. He sees a gap, and it was a great ball in, but it was a poor ball from Shaqiri to Alexander-Arnold.
Here comes Shaqiri. Good first touch to get it under his control. Tries to feed the pass up to Mo Salah. Good slide from Cresswell. Cresswell and Dawson in particular have made so many interceptions in this opening 37 minutes. They've been disrupting Liverpool's flow. The referee here gives a free kick for a foul by Shaqiri on Souček. It's a free kick to West Ham midway inside their own half. By the way, Match of the Day 2 tonight, 10:30 on BBC One. Mark Chapman will be with Eddie Howe tonight and Micah Richards. That'll be worth watching, followed by the Women's Football Show immediately afterwards on BBC One tonight. West Ham have got this free kick, which Bonner rolls short to Declan Rice. Right, if we're going to have a goal in the first half, they better get their skates on. Long ball played forward by West Ham. Souček jumps with Thiago. Thiago stands his ground. The loose ball falls for Benrahma. He tries to take it out to the right wing. Clever feet, draws a foul from Thiago, and a free kick to West Ham in a dangerous position here. Edge of the penalty area, out near the sideline on the right-hand side. This is a good position to deliver across. 0-0.
Yeah, it's good feet from Benrahma. Very good feet. And yeah, I don't know if there's a lot of contact. Thiago does stick a leg out and he feels something, Benrahma, and goes down. I don't know if there's a lot of contact. That's why Jordan Henderson went another word with Benrahma. But it's a good position, Connor. You're right.
That's the voice of Clinton Morrison, scorer of over 150 league goals in his career. Watching this game of this year at the London Stadium, 0-0 between West Ham and Liverpool so far. Promising position though for a West Ham free kick. Bowen And Sofal is standing over it on the right-hand side. Everyone else is in the middle. Liverpool's defence is lined up almost in a dead straight line, a few paces inside their penalty area. All 10 outfield players, like a line out in rugby. They're all just in one line as they stand and try to be organised to withstand what West Ham have to throw at them. Sofal delivers it in. Good delivery too. Excellent defending by Nathaniel Phillips. That wasn't easy. He was running back towards his own goal, but he managed to head it away. And Wijnaldum will try to bring it clear, and he'll launch it forward for Salah to sprint after. Cresswell's in the sprint. Great pace from Salah. Cresswell had a head start on him. The Egyptian caught up, but solid defending from the West Ham left back, and Cresswell clears it away.
That's a great ball in from Sofal. And you know, the defending from Phillips is fantastic. He's got one player in front, one player behind. And that's why it's so important to have him, if you're not going to have Fabinho in the team with Henderson, him in the team, because he's very good aerial. It's a fantastic defensive header.
The clock ticks on. 5 minutes to go to the break here. This is 5 Live for the BBC. You can also listen on BBC Sounds. Very much recommend downloading that app if you haven't done so already. Wonderful amount of content on there, regardless of what you're interested in, sport, music, you name it. You can also listen to our commentary via the live text pages of the BBC Sport website, where you can peruse all the various social media and comment and pictures and graphs and all sorts of fancy stuff they put on there. But click the little link at the top of the page while you do so, and you can listen to our commentary at the same time. Here is Origi on the attack for Liverpool, held up by Craig Dawson. West Ham get it back again. And then Benrahma tries to flick the ball over James Milner, who's seen all that before, and blocks it down. But did he handle it? I think he did, James Milner. Perhaps unintentional, but handball and a free kick.
So Conor, listen, I've got they've had 70% possession, Liverpool have had. Mm-hmm. They've had 5 shots, and how many would you say they've had on target?
I'm going to say, the way you've built it up, 0.
0, exactly.
Well, that is credit to West Ham. Here comes Antonio down the left-hand side, just out of play before he delivered it in.
Yes, that was the crossing.
That was the
Antonio,
right, okay,
but it was a difficult one. Phillips has done well, though. He's done ever so well. He's matched him there. And it made it really awkward for Antonio to get his cross in the box. So you must credit Phillips. I think he's been excellent. This was a game, and I bet a lot of people are looking and thinking Antonio can cause him a lot of problems. So far, so good for Phillips.
Phillips has been good, what we've seen of him for Liverpool. And as I mentioned briefly earlier, we didn't get a chance to expand on it. You know, you're a young defender. You haven't played much of the Premier League. When you come into a game like this, you want to be alongside Van Dijk. You want to be alongside, here, hold my hand, get me through this. Yes. And of course, Henderson's a great player to play with, but he's not a specialised defender. It does make it extra difficult for Phillips, but so far rising to the occasion. Yeah,
the one thing Jordan will do is he'll talk to him. He's a brilliant captain, and he's non-stop. He'll be in his ear telling him what to do. So that is the good things about Jordan Henderson that he will have.
Good defending by Bowen to win the ball for West Ham on the edge of his own penalty area, and now Rice plays it in front of Antonio, who's tried to unshackle himself from the attentions of Nathaniel Phillips. Phillips being clever there, holding him up and keeping Antonio at bay. Antonio gets into the penalty area anyway, tries to cross with the outside of his right boot. It's sting taken out of it by Wijnaldum. Liverpool get it away for now, but West Ham regain possession. So far, what a clever ball that is to Bowen, 10 yards outside the penalty area, lays it off to Declan Rice on his left-hand side. Now to the edge of the box at Benrahma. He floats in across. Antonio unmarked to the far post, but he was always back stretching, back pedaling away for the ball as it came. And although he got a header on target, he couldn't put any power on it, and it just comfortably popped into the arms of Alisson.
Yeah, he was leaning back, but so far was there at the back post. Maybe he should have called Antonio and said, because he was in a better position, but it was good play from Benrahma. He got half a yard and whipped it back post.
No, that was good from West Ham. I'm enjoying this game. It's flowing, it's end-to-end. Both teams, you can tell, fancy they can win it. As Souček, in an attacking position for West Ham, gives it back 10 yards outside the penalty area to Benrahma. Further behind him is Declan Rice. There are 2.5 minutes of normal time to go until the break. There's been no stoppages really. There won't be much added on for additionals at the end of this first half, as Robertson and Origi and Milner between them in a tight left full-back position play their way out of trouble with some lovely neat short triangular passing, and Origi comes up towards the halfway line. James Milner, by the way, he's got a long history with West Ham. When he made his very first senior professional appearance, his debut as a 16-year-old for Leeds back in 2002, it was against West Ham, and who'd have thought in 2021, he'd still be playing against. I mean, it is a long career, such a successful career that James Milner has had. But it all started as a very fresh-faced teenager, 16 years of age, when he came on against West Ham for Leeds.
One of the best professionals you'll find out there, Connor. And it's a credit to him that he's still playing at a top club like Liverpool. He looks after himself ever so well. He's probably the hardest working on the training pitch. And credit to James Milner. But a lot of people I speak to who know him say he's one of the best professionals they've seen in the game. The hard work that he puts in.
He won that day. Leeds won the game by 4-3. And James Milner, since then, has won more matches against West Ham than any other Premier League opponent. 16 wins he's had against them over the years, and he's of course played against them for so many clubs. 0-0 here on 5 Live for the BBC. Half-time almost upon us. Robertson has possession, just inside the West Ham half. Gives it back to Wijnaldum. Again, this high work rate from West Ham. They're not leaving any gaps for Liverpool to try and exploit. As Phillips now comes forward. What a time this would be to score, to break the deadlock just before half-time in a game that's been ever so close. Thiago, left-hand side now, cuts in field of Bowen. Right-footed ball into the penalty area, looking for Origi, who nearly gets there. Dawson was scrambling. That was so dangerous. It was into that corridor of uncertainty between the defenders and the goalkeeper. Fabianski daren't come out for it, and Thiago almost laying up a goal for Origi.
That is a chance. This ball from Thiago is different class. He's looking the other way. He's looking across like he wants to play it there, and he sees Origi's run and he reverses it. It's a great ball, and I think Origi gets there, and you know what he does, Connor? He slides. If he don't slide and just flicks it with the outside of his foot, I think he's got a better opportunity. But great run from Origi and great vision from Thiago.
Superb pass. Origi probably should have done better, as Clinton Morrison describes there. And it's a chance for Liverpool in a first half in which they have not been able to create much. Super pass from Thiago, though. Trent Alexander-Arnold has possession here for Liverpool. Tries to find Salah down the right-hand side. Cresswell gets a touch, but Salah can then get it the second time, and he rolls it low into the penalty area. 1-2 between Salah and Shaqiri. Oh, we've seen this before. Salah shoots, but straight at Fabianski. And normally from that position, you expect a more threatening shot from Salah, but he couldn't stick it in the top corner.
Yeah, it was another good ball from Trent, and Salah looks sharp. He's looked really sharp out of the front three. Played a good 1-2 with Shaqiri, and then he chops and comes back inside onto his left foot, and you're thinking, 9 times out of 10 he finds the back of the net, doesn't he?
He tried to do exactly what he did against Manchester United in the FA Cup, if anyone saw that game, where he's opening his body as if he's going to go for the far top corner, and then he actually puts it in at the near post. That's what he tried to do there, but Fabianski knew exactly what was happening.
You're spot on, Colin.
Made it look safe. It made it look easy. Origi to Shaqiri to Robertson. Liverpool keeping it moving here in the midfield. We're into 1 minute being added on for stoppages at the end of the first half, and Liverpool on the attack. Alexander-Arnold up from right back, gets to within 10 yards of the byline right hand side. He's got Milner with him. Milner steps into the penalty area. Good defending again by Fornals, and Fornals stretches to try and ensure it doesn't go for a corner. However, despite his clearance, the assistant says the ball has gone out over the line. It's not going to matter anyway. Even though it would have been a Liverpool corner, there won't be time for it. It is half time at the London Stadium, and Jurgen Klopp has gone sprinting down the tunnel, and it's a big team talk needed for both managers here, but 0-0 for now. Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, and it's been a good half. I think West Ham have defended ever so well, and Liverpool have attacked. I think getting Thiago in little pockets, him and Salah have probably looked their dangerous two players going forward. I think Phillips has done well against Antonio at the back, but all in all, I think David Moyes will want West Ham to be better in possession, and then Jurgen Klopp will just want Liverpool to be more ruthless and clinical in the final third.
There is not much between them in the table. Liverpool started the day 4th, West Ham started the day 5th, and there's not been much between them here either. There's been a shot on target each. Mo Salah straight at Fabianski. Antonio had the attempt on target for West Ham, and this could still go either way in the second half. For now, West Ham United 0, Liverpool 0.
Jurgen Klopp, Clinton, looked like a man with a lot to say there, didn't he?
Yeah, or he's cold and he just wants to go in and keep out the warm. It could be that, but no, he's probably just running in. Some managers do that. Some managers walk. Some managers run. I don't think he'll be too disappointed, because it's just the final either ball, final pass, or the final shot hasn't probably been good enough for Liverpool so far. But they've dominated possession. But as the stats said, they haven't even had a shot on target yet, and that will be the disappointing thing for Jurgen Klopp.
Cut short, Steve. Cut short. Too much coffee before kickoff.
That could be that as well. You're right. Maybe I'm reading far too much.
That urgency is only for one thing.
85058 at 5 Live Sport. Barry says, as a West Ham fan, I can't believe this, but I'm expecting a win. Despair I can cope with. It's the hope that kills me. Matt says the biggest difference to West Ham this season is that Koufal and Souček look like they appreciate where they are, and their confidence is sparking other players. There's something infectious about those kind of players that West Ham are feeding off, Clinton.
Yeah, and they're hard-working. When they cross that white line, they give 100%. They're brilliant, and they've been great signings, and they're going to end up both being bargain signings and going to be outstanding signings for West Ham and have big long-term futures at this football club. And they give everyone a lift around in that West Ham team, and you can see it has a knock-on effect. If one goes, the other one goes, and everyone goes. And you can see it. This West Ham team are playing full of confidence. They might not have had the possession that they usually have, but it's going to be difficult to have that possession against a good Liverpool team. But one thing I know about West Ham, defensively they've been outstanding as well.
Either of you going sprinting from the commentary position now, or?
Connor's looking like he wants to jump over me, but he needs me to move out of the way.
Steve, there are not many advantages of this behind closed doors era. The one massive one is you don't need to run to skip the clue at half time. We've got these enormous toilets in the concourse and there's no one here to use them.
Exactly.
And here's me thinking we were better than toilet humans. Apparently not. Clinton, Connor, thank you very much. West Ham 0, Liverpool 0, half time at the London Stadium already on this Premier League Sunday. Finished Leicester 1, Leeds United 3, inspired by a brilliant Patrick Bamford displaying in the early kick-off. It was Chelsea 2, Burnley 0. We'll hear from Thomas Tuchel, we'll hear from Sean Dyche and Paul Casey after he was victorious in the golf this afternoon. After the news on 5 Live, here's Jill Mackenzie.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Greater Manchester Police are investigating recent reports of racist abuse aimed at footballers on social media. Marcus Rashford is the latest to say he's been targeted. He described it as humanity and social media at its worst. There have been dozens of arrests in cities across Russia as thousands of democracy protesters took to the streets in support of the jailed opposition activist Alexei Navalny. Monitors say more than 4,000 people have been detained. The latest government figures show another 587 people have died within 28 days of a positive coronavirus test, bringing the UK total to more than 106,000. Another 21,000 infections have been recorded within the past 24 hours, but yesterday was a record for vaccinations. Almost 600,000 people in the UK received their first dose. The government is confident there won't be any disruption to the UK's supply of vaccines after that row with Brussels. The International Trade Secretary Liz Truss says it's too early to know when the UK would be able to send spare vaccines abroad to poorer nations, but she described the virus as a global problem requiring a global solution. Professor Andrew Pollard is the director of the Oxford Vaccine Group.
There's a moral case for trying to make sure people are protected everywhere, particularly in those countries which have the least access. But there's also a selfish reason to do that our health security absolutely depends on preventing disease in other countries who we might be interacting with.
Yes.
And might bring new variants here as well.
Public Health England says ending the current coronavirus lockdown must happen very slowly and cautiously. The body's main strategist, Dr. Susan Hopkins, said the focus had to be on vaccinations, but that life would hopefully feel more normal by the summer. And campaigners staging an underground protest against the building of the HS2 high-speed railway line say an eviction team is in the process of digging them out. HS2 Rebellion are camping at Euston Square Gardens. They dug tunnels under the site to try to avoid eviction.
5 Live Breakfast.
More than 15,000 people across the UK volunteered to have tests of a new COVID vaccine. Now its makers, Novavax, say the results are spectacular. The overall rate is nearly 90% effective against the original virus, with a rate of 86% against the new UK variant. Professor Paul Heath was the chief investigator of the UK Novavax vaccine trial from St George's University in London.
I think the fact that it's so effective against the UK variant and is effective against the South African variant, so to have a vaccine with proven efficacy against that is really, really important.
5 Live Breakfast. Back Monday morning from 6. More live Premier League football than anyone else.
5 Live's Premier League Sunday
With Steve Crossman.
It's West Ham 0, Liverpool 0 at half-time at the London Stadium. We will have second-half commentary to come for you with our commentary team there, Conor McNamara and Clinton Morrison. If you've just joined us, you missed an absolute belter earlier today. Leicester City missed out on the chance to go second. They lost 3-1 at home to Leeds United. We've already heard from Patrick Bamford, who scored 1 and made 2. Here's the Leicester manager, Brendan Rodgers, with Rob Nothman.
Well, Brendan, that was a tough afternoon. You took the lead, and I suppose the key part was you couldn't hold on to it for long enough, could you?
Yeah, no, it was a really good goal by Harvey, and we had a couple opportunities in that period to go further in front. Yeah, we're disappointed with the goal. It's we give the ball away cheaply, and then we don't close the space then after that quick enough, and they break through and get the goal. So yeah, it was really disappointing. Normally this season we've been really good when we've gone in front. We've been able to control the game well. But we weren't able to do that, so disappointing in terms of the goals we gave away. I think all 4 goals in the game were transitional goals from the ball being lost. But yeah, no real complaints. We had chances to get something from the game, but we weren't quite good enough to stop them.
You love the tactical side of the game. Leeds do present challenges that no other team do, don't they?
Yeah, it's a man-marking system that they play, and there's no one else in the Premier League does that. So yeah, we didn't cope with it as well as we did earlier on in the season. They are what they are, you know. They run, they work really hard, they make it difficult for you, and they did that today. So you have to give them the credit. They won the game, they took the opportunities, we didn't take ours, and we made it. You know, the little run that we've been on comes to an end. So we move on to our next game.
One last thing, you've been great away from home. At home now, this is 5 defeats in 11 games. Is there a reason, something you can put your finger on, why the home form hasn't quite been there?
Yeah, well, we've got to keep looking at it. I think that there's no doubt we've given away cheap goals. That's obviously been key, and I think that it's hard to pinpoint it because we're not playing too different, you know, home and away. We've just conceded poor goals like today, and yeah, we have to try and be better in that moment. So yeah, we obviously failed today, but we have to go in and learn and look to get back to winning ways on Wednesday.
So with that result, Leicester City now 5 points off the top of the table, and that's having played a game more than league leaders Manchester City. Leeds United up to 12th in the table on 29 points after the win. A couple of other Leicester lines from today as well. Jamie Vardy and Wilfred Ndidi will both miss Wednesday's game against Fulham through injury, and winger Damari Gray has joined Bayer Leverkusen now, the German club have confirmed. Remember, there's a transfer deadline day special tomorrow night on the Monday Night Club with Mark Chapman taking you through and perhaps beyond the deadline. Who knows how dramatic it'll be. In the first game of the day, Thomas Tuchel earned his first win as Chelsea manager. Azpilicueta and Alonso got the goals. They beat Burnley 2-0. Here's a very happy Tuchel with Mark Scott.
Thomas, is the only disappointment that you didn't score more goals and kill the game off sooner?
Yeah, because we had a lot of half chances, we had a lot of deliveries, we had a lot of chances, but we had to wait long. The more I'm impressed that we never lost the control, we never lost the courage and the confidence to impose our style and to impose our match here. We never got scared to maybe lose with one shot, or not to lose, but to draw and lose the win. That was even more impressive. So we stayed patient and with a lot of quality and attitude and energy. Was very, very good.
What was the most pleasing aspect of the performance? Because we know Burnley can be a tricky opponent.
Absolutely. I think we only conceived one shot in the very last minute, 94th minute, and that says everything. They play a lot of long balls, so it's very, very physical. They play a lot of long balls even if you press up high with the first touch, so you need to be very, very aware to never get caught in your back. And the back three and the 2-6 were outstanding in this matter. The guys on the side helped a lot, and the front three worked to never give them the chance to play the balls with concentration and with orientation. So it was a hard team effort against the ball, and a very, very good performance structure-wise and from intensity again with the ball. So deserved win and well played.
2 unlikely goal scorers for you today as well. I know you brought Marcus in mainly for his physical strength against Burnley. You weren't expecting him to score, maybe.
Yeah, I was expecting him to score because he was in for his physical presence, for the headers. We needed him for the set pieces, and in my opinion, if he plays this role up high the pitch, he is always a threat for the opponent's goal. So that was his job, and he delivered.
I know that you said that the players you brought in today, it was an opportunity for them to show what they can do. You were giving everyone a chance.
Yeah.
Did they take that chance to show you what they can do?
Sure, but the guys against Wolves also took the chance. At some point, is hard to convince everybody when you don't have the result. Now is like outside that we did a good game. Now is obvious because we got the deserved win that we worked for, and again I'm very happy with the performance. I'm very happy with the energy. Even now in the dressing room, the guys who were like on the stands, happy for everybody. This is good because it gives us a big boost for our self-confidence.
Just finally, how does it feel to have your first win as Chelsea boss?
Oh, good. Was necessary, and was clear that we would not wait too long.
That win moves Chelsea up to 7th in the table. They're 4 points behind the Champions League places, although clearly that could change in the next hour because it is West Ham 0, Liverpool 0 at half-time at the London Stadium. Second half commentary to come shortly. Then Brighton Spurs at 7:15. In the Women's Super League, Chelsea remain top of the table after a 4-0 win over Tottenham. That's 33 games unbeaten in their record run. They're above Manchester United on goal difference. Casey Stoney's side beat Everton 2-0. Manchester City beat West Ham 4-0 in the day's other game. Villa Arsenal was called off because of a waterlogged pitch. London Irish won for the second time this season in the Gallagher Premiership, winning 31-22 against Newcastle Falcons. Finished Wasps 17, Harlequins 49 in the day's other match. Meanwhile, Australia have offered to host this summer's Lions tour of South Africa. Of course, there is uncertainty surrounding that tour because of COVID-19's impact in South Africa. One of the biggest winners today, England's Paul Casey, took the Dubai Desert Classic golf title for the first time at the age of 43. He won by 4 shots for his 15th win on the European Tour.
I'm so over the moon. Not just 15, it's the fact that it's Dubai. It's an iconic event on the European Tour. And kind of the fact that, you know, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. Last year was, like a lot of people, rubbish. I didn't enjoy my golf. It's been totally soulless, no emotion. I've not enjoyed it. And I realised that how much I love doing what I do, but I love doing it in the environment with people watching and the crowd and the noise, and there can be heckling, it could be cheering, and seeing the emotion on people's faces. And I'm acutely aware, certainly the last 10 months or so, of how fortunate I am. There'll be guys who say, look, he's not achieved what he should have achieved to this point. There'll also be guys, I've had guys saying I've overperformed. Whatever, opinions are opinions, but I feel fine with kind of where I'm at, and I'm at peace with whatever happens in terms of my golf career from here on.
Victory for Paul Casey then. Back to the London Stadium. Second half commentary on the way of West Ham, Liverpool. Conor McNamara and Clinton Morrison, your commentary team. I can just see Clinton, Jurgen Klopp is emerging much more slowly than he left.
Yeah, he's all right now. He's a happy bunny. So, yeah, he's very happy now. But he's got a serious face, and he'll want this second half to be better because he'll want to be leaving here with the 3 points.
One of the messages I saw, Clinton, that we got to 85058 was about Divock Origi. It's from Paul, who's a Liverpool fan. He says, Origi will always be a cult hero for Liverpool, but he's just not good enough in games like this. He is too slow. What do you think about that?
Well, he's not slow. I think he's quick. I just feel at the moment he's not. It's so difficult because you compare him to the front three, and the front three are three of the best in Europe when they're all on song. So, and then you got Diego Jota. He's not in that kind of level, so it's difficult for him at the moment. And yeah, it will always be a hero to these Liverpool fans. And that's what I said to you earlier, Crossy. I think it's come a time for Divock Origi. If everyone was fit, I think he would have moved in this window.
Well, is he going to get the opportunity in the second half to show what he can do? Transfer deadline day tomorrow, of course. Mark Chapman's special show will take you through to the deadline. You can hear I'm forever blowing bubbles in the background, so time for me to hand back to Conor.
Thanks very much, Steve. It is now almost 9 hours of Premier League football since Mo Salah has last scored in the top flight. I mean, such has been his record, Clinton. It seems inevitable it's going to happen at some stage. What do you think of West Ham's chances of keeping that record stretching now through this second half?
No, they've got a good chance. They've defended ever so well, but Salah will create chances. He's sharp. He's always on the move, and he looked Liverpool's sharpest player, him and Thiago, in the attacking third anyway in the first half. So you give him an opportunity, and he will score.
Well, they had one shot on target each in the first half. Let's see what the second 45 brings us. Back underway at London Stadium. West Ham United 0, Liverpool 0. No changes in personnel over the break. West Ham in their traditional claret and blue. Liverpool in the change strip, all black with the red trim. And Salah straight into the thick of the action. Midway inside the West Ham half, laying the ball back to Thiago. His right-footed ball into the penalty area is just in front of Trent Alexander-Arnold, who had crept in beyond Cresswell. He didn't get to do that without attention in the first half. Cresswell had been aware of all danger. That was an opportunity, and Liverpool nearly with a chance to score inside 30 seconds of the restart.
Yeah, and looking on the replay, he would have probably just been offside, but it was another great ball from Thiago, and a good run from Trent Alexander-Arnold, but looking at the replay, he would have been called offside by the VAR.
Liverpool, who had that long run of not being able to score, and then they did find the net on Thursday against Tottenham, and they thought, well, that's it, that's that drought over, back to normal business. But if they don't score here, Liverpool, you know that Jurgen Klopp is going to be fielding an awful lot of questions from journalists about, you know, struggles to score goals up front, and he will just want that to be put to bed with Liverpool scoring here and winning this match. But West Ham are showing that their recent form has been no flash in the pan. They've been solid. They've looked every bit as threatening as Liverpool had in terms of goal-mouth activity. West Ham haven't had as much possession as Liverpool in the game, but they've had a lot. When they have been on the attack, they've looked just as close to scoring as Liverpool have been at the other end. Milner here. Nice ball through to Shaqiri. There's no margin for error there, but Rice tackles Shaqiri and wins it back for West Ham. Then Benrahma tries a back heel that doesn't come off. David Moyes will be furious with that. That was too fancy, unnecessarily fancy. And with the chance of Liverpool breaking, Declan Rice comes across and does a very captain-like thing and just crunches into Thiago and gives away a free kick. But he didn't want Liverpool counter-attacking there. He takes the yellow card.
He didn't, and it's poor from Benrahma. There, even Moyes was angry with him. You can't be doing flicks there on the halfway line. He's got to secure the ball and bring his other players in. He was trying to flick it to Antonio. And Liverpool just broke, and yeah. Declan Rice had to make that tackle and get a yellow card for his team.
All right, that's the first yellow card of the game. These have been, by the way, the two best behaved teams in the Premier League this season. West Ham have been shown 22 yellow cards now, and Liverpool 22, and no team has had fewer yellow cards than that this season. Neither team has had a red card this season. Free kick to Liverpool. This is a full 20 yards outside the penalty area. Thiago's going to take it, right-footed, floats it into the box. Strong header under pressure from Sofal. He was fouled as he did so, but he stood his ground. I mean, he reminds me so much of Pablo Zabaleta. He is made of the toughest teak, is Vladimir Sofal, and he wasn't going to shirk out of that.
Very good shout, that, you know. Very good shout. If he can do as well as what have a career like Pablo Zabaleta, he'll be doing ever so well. Do you know what I mean? But that is a good shout. He defends like him, and he's really good, and he's comfortable in possession as well, Connor.
Yeah, no, I've been really, really impressed with him, and I mean, obviously Souček's getting all the press and the headlines for the goals he's scoring, but Sofal, his international colleague, has been really, really good too. Here is Thomas Souček down the right-hand side. Bowen tries to cross for West Ham. Liverpool have got lots of bodies back there and they're able to intercept, and now Shaqiri tries to counter-attack. Thiago's gone down and he's slow to get back to his feet. Liverpool temporarily operating with 10 men as Origi attacks the penalty area. Good dribble this, gets into the box, pulls it back, Salah shoots, blocked by Cresswell. Brilliant block from Cresswell. Salah inside the 6-yard box, thought he had scored. Origi with a superb burst to create it all. That was Liverpool's best chance of the game, and Cresswell denies Mo Salah.
Yeah, it's good play. That's what Origi can do. He's positive. He's so positive. He goes to the byline, does ever so well, crosses it, and you see Salah, and I was thinking, hey, this is a goal, but great defending from Cresswell, and that's what he's been doing all season. He matches Salah's run and does ever so well to make a good block.
Just watching the replay here and knowing what happens, I'm not watching Origi, I'm just looking at Salah, and Cresswell the whole way from the halfway line to the 6-yard box. Cresswell every split second was turning. Where's Salah? Where's Salah? Exactly. Where's Salah? He didn't take his eye off him, and he was in the right place to make the interception. That was no coincidence that he was in the right place there, Aaron Cresswell, because he had tracked the run of Salah the whole way. Here come Liverpool again. Origi into the penalty area, shoots, might have taken a deflection off Dawson. Referee says no. It's no deflection, it's wide, it's a goal kick to West Ham. Bright start to the second half, Clinton.
Really bright, and Origi looks really sharp. He looked a really good run there on the back of Dawson, and he shows good strength, and he tries to drill it across Fabianski, but it hits the side netting. But he started the second half really sharp at this precise moment.
Mo Salah, Liverpool's top scorer this season, 19 goals in all competitions. Divock Origi showing just a few glimpses there, and maybe, in response to Some of the comments that Steve Crossman read out at half-time for Liverpool fans. I mean, there's no shortage of pace. Once he gets up and going, he's grease lightning his Divock Origi and causing problems for the West Ham defence and very nearly setting up a goal for Mo Salah there. We're going to have a break in play because two players are down hurt. Antonio and Nathaniel Phillips, they collided. Antonio's getting back up to his feet. Phillips slower to do so, but I think he's going to be okay. West Ham United 0, Liverpool 0. We're just going to have a little break in play while the referee makes sure both players are all right. They collided into each other. I don't think there's any malice from either side there. They're both jumping. Yes, they both had arms raised, but it's the natural movement of jumping, and they've just both tried to occupy the same space at the same time. Play gets back underway, still 0-0. Liverpool have it with Milner in a kind of right full-back position. Trent Alexander-Arnold further up the pitch for him, right wing position. Back to Milner again near the halfway line, back into Nathaniel Phillips, who's alongside Jordan Henderson, who I'm told this is the 12th different central defensive pairing that Liverpool have played this season. Some clubs wouldn't have 12 different pairings in a decade. This season, here's Mo Salah, midway inside the West Ham half, left-footed cross, poor, straight to Sofal, who controls on the edge of the West Ham penalty area. Now, Bowen, chance to clear away, puts it in front of Antonio. Here he goes, on the sprint, out comes Alisson, just gets there in time. Good footwork from the Brazilian. How do you like that?
How good is that,
I mean, that was fraught with danger, and he made it look so easy.
I'm telling you, most centre-halves would have been putting that in row Z. Alisson just takes a touch and just goes, I've got this, everyone, and just plays it to Thiago. Brilliant goalkeeping.
He is ice cool, isn't he? Just, yeah, no problem. And he had to put a shift on to get there too. He was sprinting, and then this delicate touch, like he's just on Ipanema Beach in Rio, just flicks it away from the advancing Antonio, who we know is a real speed merchant. 0-0 it remains on 5 Live at London Stadium. Here is Sofal, short ball to Bowen, bringing it up towards the halfway line. Right-hand side of the pitch as West Ham come forward. Sofal has collided off the ball with Robertson. Referee, don't think, spotted that. Nothing much to do anyway. Here is Fornals, who's had a quiet game overall. He'll give it to Cresswell on the left-hand side. Cresswell drills in a cross that had so much power on it, I'm tempted to think he was actually trying to shoot there. He absolutely wellied that, and it sails over Alisson's crossbar, and it's a goal kick to Liverpool. Still 0-0. Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, you can see David Moyes not happy because Cresswell, it's a good play from Rice, good switch to Fornals. He plays a good ball, and you're thinking Cresswell in this position, he's got a sweet left foot, just tried to bend it round Trent, but he gets it all wrong. But a bit better that from West Ham.
Liverpool have scored in 10 of their last 11 visits to play West Ham away from home. No goals here at either end so far. Alisson's at it again. Real dangerous flick over the advancing Benrahma, and he's just cool as a cucumber. No, not a hair out of place, not a feather ruffled from the Liverpool Brazilian goalkeeper. Alisson inside the centre circle encourages Jordan Henderson to come over the halfway line. The Liverpool captain playing centre half today. Gives it short back to Thiago once more. Milner has changed his position in the second half. He is operating more of the sort of defensive right-sided midfielder, allowing Alexander-Arnold to advance more as a bona fide right winger now. This is Henderson, bang on the halfway line, has a look up, plays it right-footed, over the top, great pace on that. Salah gets a header on it, and all he can do is cushion it to Fabianski. What a ball from Henderson. That was precision. How good Salah was nearly in.
Connor, how good was that pass from Jordan Henderson? He just gets it. The run from Salah is fantastic, to be fair, and the ball is inch perfect, and that's all Salah could do because Bonner and Cresswell had tracked him ever so well. But great ball from Henderson, great run, really unlucky from Salah.
That was like an NFL quarterback just picking out the line receiver. I mean, the run was made, he could see it, you could tell Henderson visualized that, pinged the pass perfect way. I mean, a fraction too short, the defender would have got it. A fraction too long, it would have run through to Fabianski. That was precision from Henderson, and very nearly created something for Liverpool. Speaking of NFL, by the way, 5 Live has got coverage of the Super Bowl next Sunday, 7th of February, coverage from 11 o'clock at night as Kansas City Chiefs take on Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's the Super Bowl next weekend here on 5 Live, as Phillips, who won't be going to the Super Bowl with that pass, launches one straight down the middle and all the way through to Fabianski. 0-0.
See, Connor, I think Jones is coming on. He's told, I saw Firmino and Oxlade-Chamberlain still warming up, and he told them to stay out there, but I think Jones has just gone back to the bench and he'll be coming on. Probably Origi or Shaqiri, wouldn't you think?
Are you surprised Jones didn't start ahead of either of those today?
Very surprised, because I like Curtis Jones. I think every time he's put on a Liverpool shirt this season, I think he's been brilliant. A youngster who comes into this group with so much talented players doesn't look out of place.
And every time he's pulled on a Liverpool shirt this season, he has been a teenager. Today he's pulling on a Liverpool shirt, and he's not a teenager because he turned 20 yesterday. We can't call him a teenager anymore. Chance for West Ham here. Counter-attack. Bowen over the halfway line, bearing down on the Liverpool penalty area. Sends it across. It's going to fall for Antonio. Right footed. Wide. Oh, what an opportunity. He did everything right, Antonio. It wasn't easy, but he steadied himself. I thought he'd hit the target from there. What a chance 10 minutes into the second half.
It was a great chance. It all starts from Dawson. He puts a big challenge on Divock Origi, who's still down. Then Fornells plays Bowen, and you're thinking it was 3-on-3 here. He could have played Ben Rama, but he cuts it back. Antonio does well because Milner's stretching. Takes a touch, and you're thinking, we're waiting for the net to bulge. He just doesn't get enough bend on it, Connor. He kind of strikes it and don't get the bend on it and just goes wide. But it's a good counter-attack from West Ham.
It's one of those, he's trying to wrap his foot around. You can see the spin on the ball of the replay. He's put curl on it, but just not enough bend to creep it into the bottom corner. We're getting to see replays of that challenge from Dawson on Origi again, and Origi is back up at his feet.
What do I know? It's James Milner. Maybe he's saving Firmino and Oxlade-Chamberlain for Shaqiri and Origi.
Well, it's attacking now, isn't it? So Jones, Shaqiri, Salah and Origi all on the field. James Milner makes way. 35 years of age this month, and on comes the lad who's just turned 20. Milner's having a few words with Jurgen Klopp. We don't see this very often. Milner has gone eyeball to eyeball with Klopp, and he's challenging him on something there. They're all hugging and making up afterwards, but I think Milner had a few words telling Klopp he wasn't very happy, and that just shows some of the strain Liverpool are feeling at the moment. Alexander-Arnold is possession for Liverpool. Now here's Jones, involved for the first time. Lovely ball to Salah, into the penalty area. Close touch control, left footed shot, brilliant! You could tell from the minute he swung his foot, he was heading for the net.
He goes back.
No, Salah scores. And Milner is back out celebrating with Klopp, and Klopp is going, that's why I brought on Curtis Jones. He's just provided the assist for the goal, and Milner apologises to Klopp. I love that, brilliant.
He walks over to him and he goes like that, gives him, and he hugs him, but it's good play from Curtis Jones, and that's what he can do. I was surprised he wasn't starting, but what did I say to you, Connor? Give Mo Salah half a chance, and that is half a chance, but it's not even a chance. He will score. The finish is brilliant. Good play from Jones. Plays it to Salah. And you know what? The only disappointing thing for Cresswell is he shows him in on it to his left foot, and maybe he should be showing him down the line, but it's great feet from Salah.
Jones sets up Mo Salah. It is his first goal in just over 9 hours of Premier League football. We said at the start of the second half, surely only a matter of time. And that was your trademark Salah goal. Close touch control. He's, the ball, several little touches, the ball not really going anywhere, but he's weighing it up all the time. And then suddenly the dart to put it on the left boot. And from that moment, even before he hit it, Clinton, you were celebrating. You knew it was going in.
Oh, you saw from his left foot, the angle that we're at in position here. Once you show him on his left foot, it's a great finish from Salah.
Here come Liverpool again. They lead 1-0. Origi, low ball into the penalty area, not as precise, and Fabianski comes out and gathers just ahead of Mo Salah, but Liverpool up and running now. They've got the breakthrough in the early stages of the second half. That was a lovely moment between Milner and Klopp, because James Milner, who you would have thought he never would publicly challenge his manager, but he was right eyeball to eyeball with Klopp. He wasn't happy about something, and Klopp has obviously said, look, I need to bring on a more attacking player, we've got to make this change. And then straight away the attacking player who's come on claims an assist, and Milner, to his credit, runs back out and acknowledges with Jurgen Klopp. That was a great
that's
moment.
Brilliant. That's what you want to see in football. Milner eyeballs the manager, then goes, okay, fair enough, and then everyone's happy.
That's why Klopp's the manager, as out comes Alisson at the other end, and sliding gets there ahead of Antonio and clears it away. Right, what do West Ham do now? Because they have played well. Do they go for it a bit more? Are they more expansive, or do they try and just continue what they've been doing? What do you reckon?
No, they have to go for it. I think they have to start. They are trying, but it's difficult because Liverpool are good. They're dominating possession, but once they get these half opportunities which they've created, they have to take them. I think I can see Yarmolenko getting ready maybe to come on, so he might come on for Ben Rama, he might come on for Fornells. It'll probably be one of those two.
That is Mo Salah's 20th goal of the season. It is the 4th campaign in a row that he has scored 20 goals or more for Liverpool. Do you know who the last striker to go 4 seasons in a row scoring 20 goals for Liverpool would have been, Clinton?
Last striker.
That's Liverpool.
Ian Rush.
Correct.
Yeah, Ian Rush, without a shadow of doubt.
Fowler and Torres and all those kind of Liverpool strikers. They didn't do it.
Goal scorer.
Ian Rush, 6 seasons in a row, from the 81-82 season through to 86-87, managed to score 20 plus goals for Liverpool. And Mo Salah is very comfortable being mentioned in the same breath as Ian Rush, which is the greatest compliment you can play
Ever.
any Liverpool striker.
He's a legend.
Yeah. So, the goal drought is over. The run of not scoring in the league. I mean, he kept plugging away in the cup competitions, Mo Salah, but that's the first one since the 19th of December. And you would imagine it won't be the last for some time. He'll be adding to it sooner rather than later. Here come West Ham. Bowen might be offside. Play on for now. Runs into the penalty area. Great defending by Henderson. Flag goes up late. Referee assistant on the far side had allowed play to continue. It probably would have been offside. But good turn of pace from Henderson. Just reminding Jared Bowen that he can keep up with the speedsters. And here comes Yarmolenko.
He's not slow, Jordan. He's very good. He can cover the ground ever so well. And since he's gone to that centre-back, he's actually been playing really well, Connor. Tottenham, and obviously today so far, he's been excellent so far.
Yeah, he's a top player, Jordan Henderson. Andre Yarmolenko will come on. Speaking of goal droughts, 1 goal in his last 15 Premier League games, but can he get West Ham United back into this game? As the clock ticks on and we're over the hour mark now. This has been an entertaining game. There weren't that many shots on target the first half, but it's been a battle. Liverpool have gone toe-to-toe with an in-form West Ham team, and it's only been a moment of brilliance for Mo Salah that has separated them so far. Here is Curtis Jones. The Liverpool change that's been made in the second half. Henderson turns and rolls it back to Alisson, wearing all mustard yellow away to our left. Plays it back again to Henderson. Liverpool will move up into West Ham territory. Curtis Jones to Andy Robertson, who cuts in off the flank and returns a beautiful pass to Jones. That was vintage Liverpool. Jones into the penalty area now, weaves his way around Dawson, but his touch was too heavy, and he did everything right there, Curtis Jones, but his touch put him out of play, and a let-off for West Ham.
He's definitely come on and livened up the game. He's been excellent, Connor, so far. And you know what? He's positive. He wants to take people up, and he believes in himself, and I like that. He's not overconfident, but he's confident, and you need that to be successful, and that's what he is.
West Ham 0, Liverpool 1. Andre Yarmolenko comes on to replace Pablo Fornals, who scored against Liverpool in each of the last 2 meetings of these clubs. Scored at Anfield earlier on this season, scored against Liverpool last season as well, but didn't seem to mention Fornals' name as much as most of his teammates, and I think David Moyes feels he can get a little bit more out of that position now with the arrival of the Ukrainian Andre Yarmolenko, who did score against Doncaster last weekend in the FA Cup.
And I just feel it frees up Benrahma to play on the left, where you feel he can play in that 10 role, but I think Benrahma on the left, where you saw him be so successful for Brentford, is his favoured position.
Free kick to West Ham. Cresswell's going to come across from left full back to take it. 10 yards inside the Liverpool half, and he plays it quickly to Bowen, who's attacking position on the right hand side, level with the edge of the penalty area. Liverpool defend. Bowen tries to cross, takes a deflection, corner to West Ham.
And this is where you got to put it in, because as I said before, set piece is probably the best opportunity for West Ham to score.
Mentioned Ian Rush and his exploits in the mid-80s. Liverpool haven't won back-to-back league titles since 82, 83 into the 83-84 season. Can they win back-to-back titles? They've lost a lot of ground over the last month or so to Manchester City. Here comes the West Ham corner, and in-swinger sits up in front of Souček, and he just couldn't move his body. He tried to acrobatically connect with a volley. He has kicked the head of Henderson by mistake. Liverpool have been awarded a free kick. Souček, who wasn't able to head the ball, he kind of tried to chest it up for himself and then go for the almost acrobatic bicycle kick, scissors a kick type of attempt, and Henderson, how brave is that, putting his head in, knowing the boot was coming, but he took one for the team there, and Henderson headed it away, but then received a kick to the back of his head, and he's now getting back to his feet slowly.
Yeah, he was brave, really brave defending. Before that, it was a good ball in from Bowen, and you're thinking Dawson, he's really good in the air, scored in the midweek against Crystal Palace. You're thinking he had a free run on it. I think Origi just done enough, and then good defending from Henderson.
Mo Salah, that goal, he's 8th. He has scored in 8 matches in the Premier League against West Ham. He's not scored more goals than that against any other Premier League opponent. Has also scored 8 against Bournemouth, and he scored 8 against Watford. And that is some going for Salah. And West Ham fans very pleased they don't play against him every week. Ogbonna from the edge of his own penalty area rolls it back to Fabianski. Right-footed clearance is going to come down inside the centre circle. Free header for Nathaniel Phillips. Reminder that we've got more live football coming up. 7:15 kick-off, Brighton against Tottenham here on 5 Live. And it continues into next week on Tuesday. 2 Premier League commentaries. Wolves take on Arsenal, and we'll have Manchester United against Southampton. And then on Wednesday, a further 2 games of the top flight. Fulham against Leicester, and Liverpool back in action again. Liverpool taking on Brighton. 1-0 Liverpool lead for now. Declan Rice, that's a good pass. Out to the right-hand side to Vladimir Sofal, who puts it in front of Jared Bowen. Good pace to get onto this. near the corner flag. Right-hand side as West Ham come forward, and a challenge from Henderson, and the ball goes out for a throw-in, and Henderson thought the last touch came off Bowen there. He thought it should be a Liverpool throw. The assistant who was right beside it said no, throw into West Ham, and they've taken it. And this is Cresswell, midway inside the Liverpool half. But Rama in this new position for him on the left wing, weaves infield, gives it low to the feet of Souček. Back out to Cresswell, left-footed cross, hangs in the air, too high for Bowen. Back helping out the defence was Origi there on the edge of his own 6-yard box. Liverpool are sitting deep. West Ham come again. That's a nice ball. Yarmolenko sells a dummy in a crossing position on the right. Gives it back out to the right-hand side. Sofal deflected cross off Jones. Corner to West Ham. West Ham have actually responded well to going behind. They're not dropping their heads. 25 minutes to go. They're taking the game to Liverpool, but they trail 1-0.
No, they are. Positive substitution with Yarmolenko. Done well there. And Sofal, good ball, but good block from a Liverpool defender there. But yeah, they are taking it to Liverpool. And this is where they're a threat, Connor, from the set pieces.
West Ham corner. Busy penalty area awaits. Here comes the delivery in swinger again, and it was Craig Dawson's header. Dawson, who's been in the goals lately, he's put it wide. 2 goals in his last 4 games. Dawson jumped well but couldn't keep it down.
Yeah. And it's a corner because it comes off Origi's shoulder, and that's why West Ham coaches are not happy about it.
Curtis Jones, by the way, was on the field for 34 seconds before he provided that assist for Mo Salah. It's his first Premier League assist ever. Oh, danger here. Well, a comfortable ball across the penalty area from Liverpool's Alexander-Arnold. Suddenly, Robertson was scrambling. He sliced the ball out for a corner. That is one of those that could have gone anywhere. He's sliding in, facing his own goal, and Robertson puts out for a corner. It could it's gone a foot wide.
Yeah, it's a good ball in from Antonio, and it kind of hits his toe.
Here comes the latest corner. West Ham, succession of attacking set pieces now. This one's headed away at the front post. And Liverpool can counter-attack. Alexander-Arnold launches a big one. Scampering after it, his little legs as fast as they can is Shaqiri. And he hits it first time back into the middle. Salah controls. It's sensational. What a goal from Liverpool. From one end to the other in 2 passes. Alexander-Arnold hit a 50, 60-yard ball. Immediately, Shaqiri launched another long ball into the penalty area. Salah controlled a graceful touch. Flicked it beyond Fabianski, and that was Liverpool at their very, very best. Brilliant goal. West Ham 0, Liverpool 2.
Connor, I can't tell you how brilliant this goal is from Liverpool. The way they break is sensational, and West Ham are trying to get back. The ball from Alexander-Arnold's brilliant, but the ball from Shaqiri, he could, in that position, many people take a touch. It's a great ball, but the touch from Salah, people want to tell me Salah's hasn't been in good form. Oh my gosh, that touch is sensational. The touch makes the goal, Connor, and then the finish is a man who scored already and says, I'm back. And Mohamed Salah is back. What a goal from Liverpool.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant because the finish is a tap. It's all about what led to that final touch from Salah into the back of the net. Alexander-Arnold picked it up inside his own penalty area, launches this long ball in front of Shaqiri. Shaqiri put the head down, sprinted to get there first time, back into the middle, and he couldn't have played it better. And then that first touch from Salah in the back of that. But in a blink of an eye, from a West Ham corner, seconds later, Fabianski's picking it out of his own net.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's a joy to watch. And Firmino's come on for Shaqiri, Connor.
Yeah,
that all happened because we were so interested in that touch from Salah. But you know what, Connor? I'm not going to tell you, no word of a lie. It's one of the most difficult skills like that. And I know a lot of people say it's such an easy touch. He made it look easy, the way he cushioned it. And then the finish was pure class from Salah.
Jurgen Klopp really enjoyed that. Liverpool with a cushion now, 2-0 up in a game that has had extra value placed upon it, not just with West Ham bearing on the shoulders of Liverpool just outside the top 4 coming into this game, but the run of form, the corner that was turned on Thursday in beating Tottenham, and Klopp knew he needed to follow it up today. And now, with 20 minutes to play, Liverpool have got themselves a 2-goal lead, and they've scored one of the best goals that the team has scored this season. Look out for it tonight, match of the day 2, 10:30 on BBC One. They'll be showing a lot of replays of that one. What will West Ham do now? Is it to be a first defeat of 2021 for David Moyes' side? Here's Firmino, who's just come on. Challenged by Ogbonna on the edge of the West Ham penalty area. Ogbonna gets it back. Now with Origi leaning into him, he's got to roll it out to Sofal. And West Ham are pinned in a bit now. I mean, you know, you can see what David Moyes is doing, and I'd asked you the blunt question before, you know, should they do this? And you said they should, Clinton. You know, they got to go for it. They got to try and get back in the game. They commit bodies forward for the corner, and that was always the risk. Liverpool and the pace and the precision would catch them on the counter-attack.
Yeah, it's just, you know what, West Ham didn't have anyone on the edge of the box, and that was the biggest problem.
Here is Divock Origi, gets to the byline. Right-hand side for Liverpool, who are enjoying it now. You can tell the whole body language has changed. They're not as fraught in possession. They're relaxed and comfortable. Alexander-Arnold tries to weave his way into the penalty area. They're not that comfortably ahead. He loses it. Benrahma will pass up towards Antonio, and Antonio plays a pass that was supposed to be in front of Sofal, but it goes out for a throw. West Ham aren't giving up, there's no doubt about that with 20 minutes to play, but Liverpool now fully in control at London Stadium.
Yeah, definitely, and Liverpool will love this. West Ham, if they have to come out, the counter-attack they have on the pace with Salah, Origi, and Firmino's clever little movement he's got, this will buy into Liverpool's hands.
So that is now Mo Salah up to 21 goals for the season. And his 9th goal against West Ham, which means that they are now the team in the Premier League that he has scored the most goals against since coming to English football. 2 goals today for Mo Salah, and you wouldn't bet against him completing the hat-trick in the next 20 minutes here. That's the sort of mood he's been in today. West Ham have possession. Craig Dawson inside the centre circle. West Ham who had a few chances there when the game was 1-0 in Liverpool's favour, but now they've got to come from 2 down. Yarmolenko with a nice touch to Bowen. Level with the edge of the penalty area. West Ham attack on the right-hand side. He veers infield on his left boot. Plays an awkward pass for Cresswell. Cresswell's body, that was brilliant. We'll come back to the moment what Cresswell just did. Ball has been picked up by Benrahma. However, flag is raised. Oh dear, well, it kind of takes away the effect of the comment I was going to make here. Yeah. But what Cresswell did, the ball was coming, a Liverpool defender was coming, and he did this big shape as if he's going to get the ball, but then completely dummied it, and it outfoxed the defender. The reason he did that dummy was because he knew Benrahma was behind him. However, the ointment in the soup is that Benrahma was coming back from an offside position, but otherwise brilliant from Cresswell.
It looked good, Connor. I know exactly what you're saying. He looked like he was going to touch it and kind of faked it, but Benrahma was in an offside position.
West Ham United 0, Liverpool 2. How big a setback would this be for David Moyes, Clinton? Because look, anyone taking on the reigning champions knows, you know, it's going to be a difficult match. Will he still feel his team has done enough today that this, you know, that this isn't the end of what's been a great run for his team?
No, I don't. I think he'll be disappointed with the result. But West Ham have been excellent this season. A huge credit. They're going toe to toe with the champions here. And when we were coming to the ground, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, with Liverpool, the injuries they got, West Ham could have an opportunity of maybe causing an upset." But you have to credit Liverpool. They've been outstanding. It's a job that champions do, and that's what they're doing so far. But nah, this one result won't be a setback on West Ham. They'll go again and they'll pick themselves up, and they're having an outstanding season so far. David Moyes has already come out and said they've got a long way to go to be up there, but he's trying to change it, and slowly but surely he definitely is, Connor.
And as well as their wins in the Cup, they have had 6 Premier League wins straight, stretching back into the end of last year. Last time that West Ham were beaten in the league was when they lost to Chelsea. That was 4 days before Christmas. So that's a long time ago. West Ham have had a very good run. Today they've come up against an opponent who there is no doubt have been sluggish lately, but at times today Liverpool have looked back to their best. And let's be fair to them, when we saw the team sheet before the game, we thought, oh, this could be a tough afternoon for Liverpool. But Jurgen Klopp has thought this out well today.
Yeah, he definitely has. You look and you say, oh, why are you resting the likes of Firmino, and then you ain't got no money? You start thinking to yourself, yeah, could this be a hard evening for Liverpool? But you have to credit Jurgen Klopp. He knows what he's doing, and that's why he's one of the best managers around in football.
2-0 Liverpool lead, both goals from Mo Salah, very much making up for the absence of the injured Sadio Mane, who Liverpool hope will be back soon. Liverpool win a corner on the far side. Robertson plays it off Sofal. Corner for Liverpool, left-hand side as they come forward. Salah, if you look back in the games that Salah started and Mane hasn't, Salah almost always steps up and fills any gaps and scores, and it's getting that blend is so important. I mean, obviously they're great when they're together, but if one is out, you need the other to step up, and that is what seems to happen. You can watch both the goals, match of the day too tonight, 10:30 with Chappers. Eddie Howe in the chair tonight, along with Micah Richards as well, 10:30 on BBC One, followed by the Women's Football Show. Corner to Liverpool, looking for the third goal that would really put this game to bed. Just over a quarter of an hour to play. Alexander-Arnold's gone across to take it. West Ham have got everyone back defending. It's an in-swinger, and it's held on to by Fabianski, and he bowls the ball out over arm to Antonio, who's challenged by Thiago. Liverpool get it back. Antonio stays down. Thiago steps into the penalty area, does a little step over, pulls it back for Wijnaldum, and then Mo Salah, and we've been praising some of his attempts, that's terrible, balloons it way too high over the crossbar. That's real speculative seeking of the hat-trick there. He's never going to score from there, and he blazes it way, way, way over the top. But he's allowed that after the 2 goals he scored today.
Yeah, he saw a hat-trick. He saw, I want that match ball, and he think, I'm going for it. He's scored 2 fantastic goals, so he just thought, why not try it?
Mo Salah up to 21 goals for the season, 15 of them now in the Premier League. And all well in the world at Liverpool, when there has been just the tiniest bit of doubt creeping in. I mean, what a ride they've been on. The last 2 years, there's hardly been a blip. And not that it's been catastrophic or anything, but there's no doubt they were off colour, shall we say, in recent weeks. It looks like any premature announcements of Liverpool's demise were just that, because they are not going to slowly slink away into the shadows, and I'm sure Pep Guardiola will not be discounting a Liverpool surge to get right back up there. As things stand, Liverpool should move up to 40 points now in the Premier League, and they would be 4 points behind Manchester City, albeit they will have played a game more than Pep Guardiola's side. So I think it's advantage City, but Liverpool's still very much in there.
Klopp wants Origi to go down because I think he's got cramp or he's feeling something, and he's not gone down. And now he's gone down, but I'm West Ham, I'm not kicking the ball out. It's not a head injury.
This is Yarmolenko, so fell on the right-hand side. West Ham could get one back. It might make it an interesting final 14 minutes here, but at the moment Liverpool are cruising. Ogbonna has possession inside the centre circle. This is 5 Live for the BBC. We've got Brighton against Tottenham to come later on at 7:15. Spurs, who started the day just below West Ham. So if West Ham lose here, Tottenham have the chance of overtaking David Moyes' team. Spurs could be moving up to 5th in the table tonight. We'll bring you that live with Alistair Roos ball in Glenmurray from 7:15 right here. It's just so foul. Crossing position on the right-hand side for West Ham. Sends it in left-footed, not a bad ball at all. And who's back there defending? Mo Salah, furthest, deepest defender, winning a header on the edge of his own 6-yard box, which does sum up so much about Liverpool's number 11.
And then he gets up again and then sits back down. I'm thinking, ref, you just got to get him off the pitch, because he's just, you know what I mean? He's like, if I'm a West Ham player, I'm disappointed. I'm saying, get off the pitch. If you're struggling, get off the pitch.
I think this is what the instruction was from Klopp, though, wasn't it? It was don't go down now. Wait till the ball goes out of play, then go down, because we want to waste a bit of time here. And that, to be fair, is compliment to West Ham that the Klopp will be thinking in those terms. Just seeing a replay on our monitors here of Mo Salah's defensive clearance there. How good that was. We're getting to see replays of where Origi was injured. He collided with Ogbonna. I don't think there's any shout of it. They just sort of ran into each other. But he might have turned his ankle, something like that. And plenty of activity down to the technical area. Liverpool might be about to take off Origi. In the meantime, West Ham are going to make 2 changes. They are 2-0 down here. 5 Live scored for the BBC. Mark Noble is going to come on, and so too Ryan Frederick. So Noble, who's been playing games against Liverpool for as long as he can remember, will come on to get the last 12 minutes or so here of normal time. He'll come on in place of Mikel Antonio. Liverpool's defence did a good job on Antonio today, you've got to say that. So they are taking off their main striker, and Fredericks is going to come on as well, and the player he will be replacing is Jared Bowen. So what sort of formation are West Ham going to have now, as Rice hands the captain's armband to Noble? And Declan Rice has worn it for much of the season, but when Mark Noble's on the pitch, he wears the armband. So confirmation, Noble on for Antonio, and Ryan Fredericks on for Jared Bowen. So 2-0. Now some news on 5 Live. Liverpool have approached Preston about Ben Davis as they look to find a solution to their central defensive crisis. We've mentioned earlier on how Liverpool have had 12 different centre-half partnerships.
I thought he signed a pre-contract to go to Celtic. So I was reading the other day, so maybe they want to take him on loan until the end of the season.
Contracts these days, Clinton, they're not worth the paper they're written on.
They're not, mate.
Well, obviously they've got Gomez, Van Dijk, Matip are all injured. Fabinho's been covering in, and he's injured at the moment as well. So Davis, 25 years of age, came through Preston's youth system. He's had loan spells with York, Southport and Newport. But what a turn-up that would be, to suddenly be playing for the champions, and think of Champions League and everything that's still to come. he could be about to be propelled into superstardom.
Connor, if it's me, I'm knocking on my manager's door and saying, please let this opportunity. It might never come again. It's Liverpool, it's the champions. And imagine if they go on and win the Premier League with him in it. Great story.
It reminds me when Charlie Adams signed for Liverpool. He'd been playing with Blackpool, and he was linked with a move to Liverpool, and there was all this talk, would Blackpool allow him go? And Ian Holloway, I think, was the coach at the time. But apparently, Charlie Adams tells the story that they were on the training ground, and Holloway comes out, and he's looking at, what's he going to say to me? Is he going to say I can go or not? And Holloway comes over and starts singing You'll Never Walk Alone to him. So he knew that he was going to be allowed going. You can't deny a player that kind of a move.
When a big club like that comes along, and in particular this one, it just depends how short it leaves Preston for the season.
Wow, so Liverpool looking to increase their defensive options. More of that later on with Steve Crossman here on 5 Live once the live action is over here, which it will be in just over 10 minutes time. West Ham United 0, Liverpool 2. It's been an interesting game this. It's been a little bit of a reality check for West Ham. This wonderful run they've been on. It would have been, real fairy tale stuff if they continued it today against the champions. West Ham have done well. Scoreline, I wouldn't say flattens Liverpool, it's probably just about right, Clinton.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I think Liverpool, in particular second half, they've been dominant. They've created a number of opportunities, and obviously when you got a man like Salah, and they're not clear-cut chances, Connor, they're half chances. The goal Salah scored, but he's just a fantastic footballer.
It's the difference, isn't it? When you have him in your team, it turns what could have been a draw into a victory. Just, that individual brilliance, and he, on both goals, it was vintage Salah. He was a player who looked at the peak of his powers. Watch him tonight on Match of the Day 2 on BBC One. West Ham battle on for now, though. Even if they could get one back, I think it would be a big morale boost for them. Fredericks has come on as a sub. Good charge down the right-hand side, delivers across, but Alisson, who's not had much to do in the second half, comes out and dives and gathers it into his chest. 2-0 in the drizzle at London Stadium. West Ham's forthcoming games, by the way, they have 3 matches in a row away from home after this. They travel to Aston Villa on Wednesday. That won't be easy, the way Villa are playing. Then to Fulham next weekend, followed by a trip to Manchester United. I was at Villa's game against Burnley when they were beaten last week. I mean, how they lost that match, I have no idea, because Dean Smith's side played ever so well, but it was a classic Sean Dyche performance to steal the points late on and to come from behind to win, not once but twice. Burnley in that game. Earlier on today, Burnley were beaten. They were at Stamford Bridge in the 12 noon kick-off. The game's coming thick and fast, but Chelsea beat Burnley 2-0. Thomas Tuchel's first win in charge of Chelsea. And Leeds beat Leicester 3-1 at the King Power Stadium. Good goal from Patrick Bamford in that game, worth looking out for later on Match of the Day. 6:06 coming up too with Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton. Liverpool fans, get in touch and let them know what you think of the performance today and the idea to recruit Davis from Preston. It's certainly left field start to the season. I don't think we would have been talking about Liverpool recruiting players from Preston to help their title challenge, but that is the way of the world in 2020-21. You can predict nothing, Clinton.
Exactly, and if it does happen, it's a great move for him, and you wish him well. And he is one of the best defenders in the Championship. There's a lot of teams that I actually thought he had signed for a pre-contract with Celtic, but I think going to Liverpool, fantastic. And if he does go and it does happen, good luck to him, because you'll only learn playing with these super players that they've got at this football club.
Yeah, we'll get all the detail, I'm sure, as time goes on. I mean, maybe he is still going to be a Celtic player next season, but it's just in the meantime, who knows. But this is Alexander-Arnold down the right-hand side. Gives it into Firmino in the bright green boots. Lays it off to a backheel opportunity. It's played into the back of the net and Liverpool score again. It is a third goal as they stretch their legs and run clear. And it's Wijnaldum who finishes it. It was a low ball into the penalty area. And Jorginho Wijnaldum gets only his second Premier League goal of the season. Firmino with the twinkle toes in the build-up there. That was really, really good. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain was involved too. And the final touch in of Wijnaldum. It's 3-0. West Ham are not coming back from this.
It's a brilliant goal. Let me tell you something, Connor. When Bobby Firmino's in this kind of form, he makes Liverpool tick. He is the glue in that team. He's such a clever footballer. Look, he drops into pockets, plays a good 1-2, and he can shoot. He's saying, "No, go on, Gini Wijnaldum. I'll give it to you, and you can just slot it past Fabianski." Firmino's come on and he looks a quality player, but great goal from Liverpool.
Right, well that's done and dusted now. 3 points are going Liverpool's way. They will move up ahead of Leicester today. They will be 1 point behind Manchester United, both United and Liverpool will have played 21 games. Manchester City 3 points clear of that of United at the top, having played 1 game fewer. But 2 goals from Salah, 1 from Wijnaldum, and when Liverpool needed to step up, they have had plenty to overcome West Ham today. Closing stages, 5 minutes to go. Liverpool, you could not see them throwing away a 3-goal lead, particularly with Antonio being taken off by West Ham as well. As attacking down the right-hand side, West Ham do win a corner here. Fredericks challenged by Curtis Jones. Corner to West Ham on the right-hand side.
He's made a big difference, Curtis Jones. Very good. So comfortable in possession. I really like him as a player.
So Liverpool prepared to defend the corner here. And West Ham, no real urgency now. I think they know their goose is cooked. Referee John Moss actually telling them to get on with it. It's going to be Cresswell to take the corner. Far side from us, million miles away from our lofted commentary position. Corner towards the front post, and Robertson heads it out for corner number 2. West Ham, who still have their highest tally to this stage of a season since the mid-80s. They are still on course for a very good campaign. But this is a day when David Moyes' side will need to lick their wounds now and try and get back into gear for that trip to Aston Villa on Wednesday. Cresswell's ready to take the latest corner. Here it comes. Again, that front post delivery, and in from Craig Dawson. Not the best Liverpool defending you've ever seen. Flicked onto the front post. Dawson able to side-foot it home. It's 3 goals in 5 games for the central defender. And, well, if it had been 2-1, we'd be saying game very much back on. Liverpool still with a cushion here, but it's West Ham 1, Liverpool 3, 4 minutes to play.
I've been saying it all along. West Ham, best chance of scoring is set pieces, because they have people that go and attack it, in particular Dawson. He is a threat. It's a good flick on from Rice. And that there it is. It's simple. I think the coaching staff got up and said, why haven't we been doing this more often in the game? But no, good goal for West Ham, but too little, too late for me.
3 goals in the month of January for central defender Craig Dawson. Scored against Stockport in the FA Cup, scored against Crystal Palace on Tuesday. Now he has scored against Liverpool, and not for the first time in his career. Back in his West Brom days, Craig Dawson scored against Liverpool in the past. 3-1, poor defending from Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp will smile about it for now, but I'm sure that'll get analysed in the video later. And, you know, had this game been closer, that would have been a terrible goal for Liverpool to concede from the set piece. As it is, 3 minutes to play, 3-1 up. Liverpool still on target for 3 points. As Yarmolenko tries to attack down the right-hand side, Robertson beats him to it and rolls it back to Alisson. So Alisson denied a clean sheet, waiting for his next one, which will be his 50th in a Liverpool shirt, but nothing he could do about that. Dawson walloping it home from about 2 yards out. 3-1. Cresswell controls on the halfway line. Wijnaldum's first Premier League away goal since the start of last season. All the goals he's scored in the meantime have come at Anfield. In fact, almost all the goals he's ever scored for Liverpool have come at Anfield. 28 now in total. 23 of them have come at home for Wijnaldum. But that's a rarity, an away goal for the Dutchman. I think we're going to get some team news from the Brighton-Tottenham game shortly. Just waiting for confirmation of that. But for the moment, Liverpool have possession with Andy Robertson onto Curtis Jones. And let's swing our way to the south coast. Alistair Bruce-Ball will be commentating on Brighton against Spurs, and Ali's got the team news.
Kicking off at 7:15 in the absence of Harry Kane, Gareth Bale starts only his 2nd Premier League game since joining on loan from Real Madrid. One of 4 changes from the defeat to Liverpool. Eric Dyer and Matt Doherty dropped to the bench, replaced by Toby Alderweireld and Davinson Sanchez. So one of those two, or Joe Rodon, will be playing right back this evening. Serge Aurier is not involved at all. And the Brighton team news nice and simple. Unchanged from the goalless draw against Fulham in midweek. We kick off at 7:15.
Thanks very much, Ali. Looking forward to listening to Alistair Bruce-Ball alongside Glenn Murray for Brighton against Tottenham. It kicks off an hour from now, live on 5 Live, our 4th commentary of the day. And we've had plenty of goals already. 2 in the Chelsea-Burnley game, 4 in the Leicester-Leeds game, 4 here at London Stadium for West Ham against Liverpool. And hopefully more goals to come later on from the Amex. Here, Cresswell jumps with Salah on the halfway line, wins a header but gives it straight to Alexander-Arnold. Thiago rolls it back to Henderson. And Liverpool, despite this patched-up makeshift defence, are back in business, it would appear, Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, really good. I think Henderson and Phillips have done well at the back. In particular, Phillips, who You know, you're coming in as a youngster and thinking, he probably thought at the start of the season he'd be going on loan somewhere, you know, kind of not getting game time. And here he's playing at West Ham and playing ever so well. But I think that's down to Jordan Henderson. He's a proper leader and a skipper to this team, and he's been excellent again at centre-half.
Yeah, once again, Liverpool proving to be a tricky opponent for West Ham. They've lost more games to Liverpool than any other opponent over the years. That's not Premier League era, that's all-time football. Liverpool have been a menace for West Ham, as they have been today. Ben Rama's done well here against Mo Salah to win possession inside his own half. But then when he tries to play it up to Yarmolenko, good interception by Nathaniel Phillips. He's done well today, actually. Phillips, been impressed with him.
He has.
Yeah.
He reads the ball there. Ben Rama wants it to Yarmolenko. He just steps in front and then plays it simple. He's done the simple things well, and he's defended when he's had to defend. And I always go back to that corner, the first bit, where it was 0-0 and there was a good free kick whipped in by Bowen, and he defended it in the first half. Excellent, when there was 2 West Ham players there.
And you know, I mean this in the nicest way. Nathaniel Phillips is 23. I think people almost think he's a bit younger because he's only breaking in, but compared to someone like Reece Williams, who's doing great but is a teenager, he just looks a bit more developed, doesn't he? Nathaniel Phillips looks a man in a man's game down there, and that's kind of what Liverpool need at the moment in that position.
Yeah, they do. I totally agree with you. They do need someone like that. And you know what? He's got more experience because he's been on loan at bigger clubs than what Reece Williams has. He's been on on loan to some big clubs, so he's experienced like that kind of football, and he's been excellent so far.
Yeah, that makes the difference. So he might get a run in the team now, depending on what's required, or depending on how long Fabinho's going to be out. Liverpool come on the attack now. Curtis Jones, who's been really bright since coming on. There's no doubt Liverpool have got a host of talented youngsters to complement the big money superstars. Here is Alexander-Arnold onto Mo Salah, case in point. Salah, edge of the penalty area here. He's got 2 defenders around him, wriggles and weaves, and he's done so well there with 2 players trying everything to get the ball off him. Salah, as if he was toying with a kitten there, just dangling a ball of wool, managed to elude the 2 of them, keep possession alive and hold on to the ball for Liverpool. Leading 3-1 here and about to move back up into the Premier League's top 3 tonight. We are in stoppage time. 3 minutes to be added on. West Ham 1, Liverpool 3, and it's almost over here at London Stadium. 2 goals from Salah, 1 from Wijnaldum. That's been good enough for Liverpool, despite the late surge from West Ham and Dawson getting his 3rd goal in 5 games. Here is Firmino. You've got to say he's added something too since coming on. It was 0-0, remember, before Firmino came on, and in this little 20-minute cameo it's been, they've managed to score 3 goals, and I don't think that's completely by coincidence. Clinton.
He's such a clever footballer. He drops into little pockets, causes problems. Defenders don't know whether to come out and mark him, and that enables the space usually for Salah and Mane. He's a big part of what Liverpool have done over the last few years, and it will continue. It looks like he's getting back to his best form. So every centre forward goes through little blips during the season, and he went through one, but now he looks as sharp as attack. Especially today, he's come on and been really good. Made a big difference when he come on.
And by the way, with the closing stages of this game just fading out, a reminder: the 72 Plus podcast available from 5 Live Sport, wherever you get your podcasts. This week featuring what goes on behind closed doors during the last week of the transfer window. Worth checking that out. And the Players podcast, Beck Smith joined by Arsenal duo Leo Williamson and Jen Beattie, and you can get that wherever you normally do download your podcast. Right, that's it. The game has fizzled out. The final whistle blows at London Stadium, and Jurgen Klopp could not be happier that this was an anticlimactic ending, because his team have had enough drama lately. This afternoon they got the job done, and massively inspired by the 2 goals from Mo Salah. West Ham United, Liverpool 3, Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, excellent performance second half, and Mo Salah's two goals were sensational. The first goal, brilliant goal, and then the second goal, the touch. I can't tell you how difficult it is, Connor, the touch and the finish, and they thoroughly deserve the victory, and they were really good. And West Ham shouldn't feel deflated. They should feel disappointed, but they've had a really good start to the season, and I think West Ham should be challenging to be in that top 6 this season.
Right, they still have problems manning the central defence, but for the moment Liverpool seem to have found a brief temporary solution to the problem, and any rumours of Liverpool's demise appear to have been premature. They are back in business. West Ham 1, Liverpool 3.
Clinton, just looking at Jordan Henderson, he is patrolling round the pitch at the moment. You can kind of feel from the body language how important that win is for Liverpool.
Yeah, it was a huge win. They want to get back-to-back wins. They haven't done that in a long time, so this was a huge win. Winning at Tottenham was a big statement, and I think here winning at West Ham is a big statement, because West Ham have been in good form this season, and it was a big win. And it looks like a comfortable victory, but West Ham did make it difficult at times, and they're a hard team to score against. West Ham defensively good, but I thought Liverpool's quality in the second half was outstanding.
It's another massive brick in the wall, isn't it? Because we talked earlier in the show about how confidence isn't a light switch. That's what Jurgen Klopp said to Ali Bruce Ball last week. This wasn't full flow Liverpool, but you can kind of see how they are building back to it, can't you?
Yeah, definitely. I think second half, I think it was full flow. The second goal was definitely full flow. The way they broke and the way the Liverpool players broke, and Mo Salah broke and said, I'm going to score here. He was determined. He knew there was a chance coming for him. And the ball from Shaqiri, you have to give him huge credit, because a lot of players in that position, Crossy, would take another touch and close the space. He sees the first time pass to Salah, and the touch is first class.
It was two glorious balls, and then I know that the first touch from Salah was immaculate, but from the centre forwards club, how much did you admire the finish? Because it's because of how quickly he takes it, isn't it? The goalkeeper doesn't have time to react.
Yeah, you're spot on. But the touch makes the goal. If his touch is a bit away from him, then it's a difficult finish. And I think once he scored that first goal, he's got so much confidence. But you're spot on. The touch is perfect, and then the finish, a little dink, is a striker that's in pure hot form at this precise minute. And even though we were talking that he hadn't scored a lot of goals, me and Connor said that. That didn't look like someone who hasn't been scoring goals, so he still keeps believing in himself.
I remember Jurgen Klopp in the week talking about Roberto Firmino moving into Liverpool's top 20 goal scorers of all time. You watch moments like when he created that third goal. He is about so much more than goals. He's just subtly brilliant, isn't he?
He's right. Connor alluded to it. He said he came on and changed the game, and he did. He's a clever footballer. He's so clever. You know, when Liverpool are firing Crossy, he's the big difference maker, because I said he goes into pockets. He enables players around him to run in behind, because he's clever. And centre halves don't know whether to go with him because he's playing as a number 9, or drop off. 9 times out of 10, one will go with him, and if they drop off, he gets turned, and that's when Salah and Mane make their runs. But yeah, he looks back to his best, and that I think the performance in midweek against Tottenham and the performance in the FA Cup against Man United, you can see he was getting back to his best.
I think the way he was so unselfish in teeing up the goal for Wijnaldum shows a guy who's so comfortable in his skin. He's no point to prove. You know, he's come out, he scored against Tottenham, and that sort of ended a bit of a drought of goal scoring for him. But it's not like, I have to score another one now. It's fine. I'll just lay it up here for Wijnaldum. So relaxed. You could see, Wijnaldum's celebration immediately over to thank Firmino, and you can see how popular he is with the teammates. What a player for Jurgen Klopp to have, and he needs him at the moment with Mane out at the moment.
And you know what? You make a good point, because if you haven't been scoring goals as a centre forward, when you get into that position, 9 times out of 10 you're going for goal, because you want to keep scoring, because you scored in a week against Tottenham. But that's not his role. His role is to score goals, but also to assist them. And I think he gets great pleasure in assisting and scoring as well.
I wonder what role Jurgen Klopp plays in that as well, because you just get the impression when you look at the way the players look at him that they're just eager to please him. There was a lovely moment when, you mentioned the Milner moment, which was hilarious, but there was also when Shaqiri came off. He was sort of looking up in awe at Jurgen Klopp just receiving the praise.
Yeah, you're right. Shaqiri will look at everyone, though, only because of the size.
No, that's true, yeah.
But I know what you mean. He definitely is looking at Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp is like that father figure in this Liverpool team. He's a fantastic manager. What he's done for them to win the Premier League last season was sensational, because Man City are a really good team. So I think most players and ex-players now would love to play for Jurgen Klopp, because he looks like he's a good man management.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there, Steve, that you could tell that Shaqiri doesn't get an awful lot of praise for Klopp, because he's so warmly... It was like, really? Oh, you thought I was good? Oh, thank you. You know what I mean? It was that, oh, shucks, kind of stuff, It was
it was like...
He had a big
tough
smile.
love. Yeah. But that's it. If you praise everyone, it's got no value, isn't it?
Exactly.
Alex Ferguson always said